visits, added discounts, and priority scheduling. Let AAA Heating and Air take your comfort to the next level. Call 803-677-1500 and schedule today.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Currently car shopping? State Credit Union just announced a new lower car loan interest rate, as low as 3.95% APR with no payments for up to 90 days. Visit one of their 8 Midlands locations or their website, scscu.com, to take advantage of car loan rates as low as 3.95% APR today. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers. If you're in the market for an engagement ring, you'll be glad to know the team at Traditions has over 175 years of collective experience in the diamond business. And with over 1,000 diamond rings in stock, you won't see a selection like ours anywhere else. And if you already know what your dream ring looks like, we can build it for you. Need financing? We have a ton of options there too. So come see us and you'll understand why Traditions truly is where the Midlands get engaged. Conveniently located in Lexington and Sand Hills.
Looking for a truck dealership that treats you like family? Come to Herndon Chevrolet, your truck headquarters, proudly serving Lexington and the Midlands for over 50 years. Whether you're after a brand new Silverado, a tough pre-owned truck, or expert service, you'll find it all right here with a huge selection and the best truck deals around. There's no better place to shop. Visit HerndonChevy.com or stop by today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile, smile.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
3 o'clock on this Monday. Welcome aboard the Postgame Show. Terry Ford is out. Jay Phillips here. Jalen Tart over there. Good to have you on board wherever you might be. Chris Clark a little bit later on. Lots to get to. Gamecock fans, not sure, look, I don't know if the panic meter is, super high. We're not punching the needle past 10 and into 11 or anything like that. But by now, most of you have heard a couple of key injuries to the receiving corps, 2 Jadens, Gibson and Sellers. It's been announced have both suffered season-ending injuries before a ball is ever officially kicked for Carolina football. Gibson transferring in from the Oklahoma Sooner program, and Jaden Sellers, of course, is Lenoris' younger brother from over in Florence. And Sellers really, I just think because he's a more known commodity, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that's the bigger blow. I think facts and production from last year might tell you that he is, but I think more than anything, Jalen, what's going to hurt Carolina fans, it's 2 or 3-fold, actually. I mean, one, he had a solid second half of the season.
Yes.
And I think you really began to see him as a younger player develop nicely, get comfortable, even in an offense that by the time, he was really kind of getting going, that offense was being, I don't want to say scrapped, but, you'd fired your OC and you knew change would be coming. But I just think he had some nice individual moments last season, and I do think there is, even if they're a couple of years apart, there was a relationship there with his brother that I think, added to the comfort level. And there's why I say, it's 2 or 3-fold. I think Carolina fans will simply look at it, and this is, more of a secondary kind of a thing, and go, oh, well, that kind of blows. I mean, he's the brother combination. How rare is that to begin with?
Yeah. And you can see it on all over the field, too. Like, the connection that both Lenoris and Jaden had, it's not – I think fans were really talking about that of who could really step up with Nick Harbor as the wide receiver option B. He was being brought up. So for him to miss this time all the season, it's a blow for South Carolina fans.
It is. And there's the third part to right there. Whether his brother is the quarterback or not, you're looking at someone who was very clearly on an upward trajectory at this level. And you want to see somebody like that continue to be developed by a guy like Mike Furry, but at the same time grow in this particular offense where receivers do have, certain amounts of freedom within the route and ways to express themselves because, it is quick and it is a lot about you. And to come back to the point, again, whether it's his brother or not, it could have been his high school quarterback, that you weren't related, but there is the familiarity and I it's just there's a lot about that one. And again, I'm not trying to in any way diminish Jaden Gibson's injury, but I just think for Carolina fans, with what you knew of Jaden Sellers, that one's it just hurts a little more right now. With Gibson, it may be you didn't really know what you had. With Sellers, you knew enough of what you had, and you knew that the ceiling was still a long way from being reached.
You're right.
And it still can be and likely will be here at Carolina, but it just won't be with his brother.
I think we'll get now a clear, definitive answer when we play Kent State and Towson at home, who the real wide receiver 2 is. If anything else goes wrong, because you never know if Harbor could have an inconsistent game, somebody has to step up. Who could that person be?
Yeah.
We could get an answer before Mississippi State. Who knows? I mean, but it is interesting now. The competition probably is going to heat up now that you lose Sellers and Gibson. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Patterson as a young player was already getting some buzz. Again, how much that
Donovan
Murph, I think, is somebody who a ceiling that has a long way to go before you reach it. Harbor's got his spot locked down, and he really came on late last season too. Mazio Bennett, I think, really when you look at it, it's going to be Bennett and Patterson that maybe are going to be the ones looked at to step up. I don't want to use the word benefit because this is a negative situation. But that said, next man up mentality has to be there.
I agree.
And Chris Clark, will join us a little bit later on. He and Wes have a lot of good breakdowns today of what they've learned from the scrimmage and what to begin to anticipate. And it sounded already like Bennett and Sellers were battling. Look, does it matter who the number one is? Is it more about who finishes the game and all those kind of cliche things that you hear? That's up to the individual. It doesn't really, if you start, you've earned it. That's great. How you doing in the fourth quarter? That's where Carolina needs its progress. That's where Carolina needs to make differences. It's not so much who's there on the opening drive after kickoff. It's who's finishing these games and who's most reliable late in ball games when it's going to really matter, in a place where Carolina did not do well enough last season. So Bennett was already pushing. Patterson, again, supremely talented. Murph has shown his flashes. Harbor is still the go-to guy, as a big, tall receiver. So this is more about that Bennett, Patterson, and that slot. And again, I just, it's disappointing, and you feel for both of these guys, because I've been saying the whole time, Jalen, I try to temper my enthusiasm for the job that I do, right? But you can't help it as a fan when you look to what this offense could be.
Exactly.
And you look who's running it, and I don't mean Kendall, I mean Lenoris.
Yes.
But you look at what's around Lenoris, and you look at that stable of backs, and you know that Shane has not only made a change at OC, and Kendall is also, of course, a quarterback's coach, but you've got a proven running backs coach in Stan Drayton. You've got Randy Clements up front. You've got some guys that are working in secondary roles. You know you've upgraded your offense. You know
it felt that way. The energy felt that, okay, Beamer could have got this right of getting the right offensive coordinator, and I still believe that he still made the right decision to bring Browse in here. I think he is the right person.
Amen.
Yes.
Look, I didn't know if you could. I'll be honest. Last year when people were talking about it, and the buzz started pretty quick. Let's be honest.
Yes.
I was like, well. They were like, well, yeah, go get Kendall Broad, because we talked a lot about how Dow Loggins had worked with Kendall and brought a lot of NFL things and blended them with what he learned from Kendall at Arkansas. I was like, well, all right, look, that's great. I don't know if you're going to get Kendall though. I mean, Kendall's from Texas, and he's coaching in Texas, and he's making a lot of money in an offensive happy conference, and So that, yeah, 100% to your point.
And the players seem to like him. They're always saying that it's a fun offense to look at, and they want fans to be anticipated to see what this looks like. We're going to, like I said, we're going to get a clear answer the first 2 games against Kent State and Towson to see what it looks like. If it doesn't look, it has to look acceptable, promising, I should say, going forward. But again, like I said, it's a big blow. It's not a big blow, but it's a blow.
It's a blow. Again, I think it's a blow. We won't know how big, and it may be that it's not that much.
That could be, yes.
But you may also find out, well, nobody really stepped up.
Yeah.
And it just kind of plateaued. So I don't know. And I don't disagree with you when you say, what you do against Kent and Towson. But at the same time,
it could be bad. It could be.
Only because we've seen a couple of openers, Georgia State, Old Dominion, where you're like, when you've played North Carolina and Virginia Tech and the others, and at least in 2 of them, and that's a little different, right?
Yes.
That's a little different.
That's a neutral site. That's not at home.
But, so I've been saying for a while here, too, and it's not like you demand that you do, but to your point about what it needs to look like, you're going to want this thing to instill confidence in everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
You want fans...
Starting with your players, but the people in the seats need to feel it too.
You want fans to say, okay, we have a chance against Mississippi State. At least.
I've already joked, man. Joked. I'm not really joking. I don't know what the over-under is on the Mississippi State game yet, but take the over.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a shootout.
Okay.
State's going to score points.
I think so,
I think
too.
Jeff Lebby's offense scores points. There's a lot of similarities with what the 2 coaches like to do, Lebby, Briles. They know each other.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, Jeff Lebby's wife is Kendall's sister, so there's connections to Art and to the family and the system. And I just take the over.
I will too.
Whether you think that's me being just kind of a smart aleck, which is rare, or just, and it's not even a lack of faith in a Carolina defense or anything like that. I just see a game where there's points,
where it could be a shootout,
and you need to make sure that you're scoring your points. And so, to the point that you made about what you need to see in those first 2, I think you need to do it with a little flair, man.
Yeah.
And if that means keeping Norris and some guys out there a few extra series, provided that you're doing what you hope you can do, and I don't want to disrespect opponents, so I'll say that as generally speaking as I can.
Then, too, I'll add, there is an uncertainty of the running backs being able to perform at a high level as well. Can you run the ball? Can you have a balanced offense in this system? It can be done without wide receivers.
Oh, it can. No, and Kendall has told us. I mean, he wants to run the ball. We asked him about that at the golf outing a couple weeks ago. I mean, there's no question. And there's something else we'll talk with Chris about too, because that goes back to a poll question that we ran on Friday, and that was what position group beyond offensive line, which again I think is getting plenty of attention. I won't say an inordinate amount, but it's almost its own level of attention and concern. So beyond that. And I think we did defensive backs, running backs, special teams, and receivers. And I don't have it in front of me right this second, but I'll go back and look. But I think running backs got over half them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stat. I mean, the depth chart. I mean, Christian Clark, the popping numbers is 236, 2 touchdowns, 55 carries.
Yeah. Final numbers from fans that voted on Friday, 57.4% running back. So there's again, beyond the offensive line, that's
the running back.
That's it.
Can you run the ball?
We'll stay with that. Again, Chris Clark, Gamecock Central coming up in just a little bit. Come back on the other side. The AP poll is out. We'll look at that real quick for you. Lots to do with the Gamecocks throughout the day. And we'll have you weigh in on the text line, 803-404-6100. How, to Jalen's question there, this is a blow in terms of losing Sellers and Gibson, halfway through camp. How big a blow? And how do you look at that? How do you assess that? And how much more time do we need before we can really do that? Is it going to take through the game at Alabama or Kentucky we'll see. We'll get into all those things for you. Lots to do. 803-404-6100. It's the Monday postgame show.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
We love to hear your opinion. Go to @1075 The Game on Twitter X and participate in our polls. Our Twitter X polls sponsored by IntelliSystems. Schedule a cyber audit today at IntelliSystems.com. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, smells musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor, call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Mount Valley Foundation Services is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. It's the Hendrick Chevrolet Countdown to Kickoff. 19 days away.
Hendrick.
The most trusted name in automotive is right here in Columbia. Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. Buy now and make no payments for 3 months. Shop the nation's #1 dealer group, Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Hendrick.
The most trusted name in automotive is right here in Columbia. Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. Car buyers across Columbia keep coming back to Hendrick for a larger selection, better pricing, and an easier buying experience. Plus, buy now and make no payments for 3 months. The nation's #1 dealer group is right here in Columbia. Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. Experience the Hendrick difference. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The back-to-school sale is now in session at iMart Express. Get 2 pairs for $79, including a free 1-year frame warranty, upgraded polycarbonate lenses, and same-day pickup. It's a $200 value for just $79, making it the kind of deal that gets an A+ from kids and parents. With styles they'll love at prices you will. Shop the back-to-school sale at iMart Express today and get 2 pairs for $79.
Protecting your family, your health, your home. I'm David Hill of True Protect Pest Services, and that's what we're all about. At True Protect, we're more than your local pest control provider. We're your neighbors, and we care. Our technicians are certified in modern, environmentally conscious treatments that work. For local, reliable pest service, call 803-400-8188. That's 400-8188. I'll actually answer the phone, and we'll get started. True Protect Pest Services, proven pest protection.
The roar of the crowd, towels waving, the lights flashing after a Carolina touchdown. There's nothing quite like catching a game at Williams-Brice Stadium. Single game tickets are on sale right now. So get yours at GamecocksOnline.com/FB2026.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Joe Sandifer, Esquire, 11915 Plaza Drive, Suite 301, Burroughs Inlet, South Carolina, 29576.
Currently car shopping? State Credit Union just announced a new lower car loan interest rate, as low as 3.95% APR with no payments for up to 90 days. Visit one of their 8 Midlands locations or their website, scscu.com, to take advantage of car loan rates as low as 3.95% APR today. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA. Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 1075 The Game app and stream us for free.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 1075 The Game app, and at the Game TV Radio on YouTube.
3:17 on this Monday. Welcome back in. Jay and Jalen with you. Terry is away. Back with us tomorrow. Shane Beamer press conference tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll carry that live. And then here on this program, we'll have some thoughts and comments on what Shane has to say as we get closer and closer to the start of the season. Speaking of which, the AP poll is out. South Carolina did not make it. Clemson unranked for the first time since, I believe, 2009. I think that's right. Alabama,
I'll do a Google search.
Outside the top 10 for the first time, also in a long time. I want to say 18 years, something like that. But Ohio State, let me get to it here. Ohio State's number 1. Oregon is 2. Georgia 3. Notre Dame 4. And Texas 5. Indiana 6. Miami 7. A&M 8. Ole Miss 9. Oklahoma is 10th. Interestingly enough, Georgia is 3rd.
Right.
Without the benefit of a first-place vote. So basically, you look at it, and you would think that Georgia was pretty much voted 3rd almost across the board. Not entirely. Ohio State and Oregon are actually not separated by that many points, all things considered. So Oregon's 14 did a lot for them, but clearly those are the 1-2 for the most part, with a few exceptions. Notre Dame in 4th got 6 first-place votes. Texas in 5th did not get any. Indiana, the reigning champion, got 8 first-place votes. But again, outside the top 5. I believe I saw they're only the 4th reigning champion to start the next season outside the top 5. Miami got 1 first-place vote in 7th place. That's it. Then again, A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma round out the top 10. LSU is 11th, Texas Tech 12, Bama 13, Southern California 14, tied actually with BYU for that slot. Michigan officially 16th, Washington 17, Penn State 18, SMU 19, Tennessee is number 20, and your final 5, Utah, Iowa, Houston, Louisville, Missouri, Clemson, right on the outside there, just 5 points behind Mizzou. Missouri 117 points to Clemson's 112. Florida was next, way back, though, with 51 points. South Carolina, 10 points in the poll, good for 30th overall, if you want to look at it that way.
So the last time Clemson was unranked was 2011.
2011, okay, thank you. Thank you. So it's been a while. And Clemson has a chance. You know, look, I don't think they're going to beat LSU.
I don't either. I don't either.
I'm sure there's a line on that game somewhere. I don't have it in front of me. The computer gives LSU a rather hefty 75.3% chance to win that game. I'll get a line on that one in a minute. But look, let me pull the upset. And Clemson probably vaults.
Yeah, the line is LSU 9.5.
That sounds about right. Okay. You know, I was thinking maybe something like 11 and a half. So 9.5. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Clemson to win that one. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect Clemson to win at home last year, and they didn't. Kind of fell apart for LSU after that.
Yep. Yep.
But it didn't go much better for Clemson throughout the course of the year either. So both teams looking for a little bit of a bounce back. But nothing overly surprising in this poll. I don't see anybody, even with Clemson. Clemson not making this top 25 is not like, oh, how'd you do that? Or Florida, who would be in 27th. Again, 51 points for Florida, so Clemson had more than double that. So Clemson's the only one that was even close. Look, Louisville, good story. I don't know. Houston, good story. I don't know. Iowa, sure. Utah, sure. Tennessee, SMU's been good. Penn State at 18, loaded with talent.
Mm-hmm.
But, now it's Matt Campbell's turn to see if he can get them over the hump. Washington got a great quarterback. Michigan, talented. BYU was solid last year. Southern Cal, underachieving relative to expectation. Bama.
Missouri at 25.
They're pretty good.
Okay.
I listen, Eli, he's just.
Eli Drinkwitz is, yeah.
He's been winning, man.
Yeah.
He's been winning. That doesn't surprise me too much. I think he's earned a little bit of that. Again, Bama.
Yeah, Bama at 13.
They're not flying under the radar at 13.
Like a solid.
But that puts them, I mean, let's see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alabama's 13th in the country, and they're the 7th place SEC team. So, again, it's all preseason, so I'm not going to sit here and get too, Texas Tech. On Texas Tech, if I may.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I saw an interview that Brett McMurphy did with Joey McGuire, their head coach, and, how they're embracing the villain role. And to me, the irony there is this is not some people, and I realize this isn't pro wrestling, okay? But some people, in my opinion, seek that. And the irony to me is if the Sorsby thing doesn't happen, if everything else about what's going on in Lubbock, even Cody Campbell splashing the cash, if everything else is equal and the Sorsby thing doesn't happen, Texas Tech is not a hated villain. They're almost like the plucky underdog made good story.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look at what we did. Look at us.
That will be another Indiana type.
Yeah, like it's a good high school coach, grows through the ranks. And yes, the money, but again, everybody's splashing the cash these days.
Yeah.
Now he's been, Cody Campbell's a little too outspoken for my taste, and I've made no secret of that. But it isn't their football. They want to portray it as we're good now and people don't like us. And that may be true for a few fans in other markets of the Big 12. But nationally, I think people look at that as a good story, or at least they were attempting to.
Yeah, until that.
But then the Sorsby thing, again, a complete. I mean, remember, that young man never took a snap for Texas Tech. So he was never even really their quarterback. I mean, he was and he wasn't, but he never played a down officially in a Texas Tech uniform. But it was their school giving everybody the finger through the offseason and being so brazen about it, and then attempting to incorporate their state's attorney general, who got, speaking of pro wrestling, got smacked down by other attorneys general in the Big 12. Like, here's some actual case law that involves sports and the NCAA, sir, and every argument that your office tried to make was wrong.
Right.
And then the attorney general from Utah came up and hit him with a chair. So
get a table.
So Texas Tech, I mean, you brought it on yourself, but it's not your, in my opinion, and some people may disagree with me. That's fine. I don't see it as it's not their football acumen that has them being hated. It's that it's the way they
one player.
Yeah, it's the way they treated the whole rest of college football with the Sorsby thing. That's why you're hated. And again, I just find that ironic because otherwise it's like, Texas Tech, that's a good story. Again, you made a great point. Indiana, that's a good story. A few years back, Boise State, that's a good story. People like good stories. Even Mario Cristobal, resurrecting Miami from the ashes.
Yeah.
That's a good story. But the way you wanted to get around a bunch of rules for a good quarterback,
that's not right.
I'm just going to use my guy. I mean, Brendan Sorsby ain't no John Elway, man.
And he hasn't played down.
He ain't Cam Newton. If you want me to go younger, okay. He's not even, in my opinion, he's not even Lenore Sellers. But that's just me. So. Anyway, all right, there you go. AP Top 25 Thoughts. Hit us up. We'll come back on the other side of the break. Our good friend Chris Clark set to join us. We'll certainly talk to him about Jaden Gibson and Jaden Sellers being done. What does that do to Carolina's wide receiver depth chart? We'll also get into his thoughts on the two big names that are still nursing some pretty key injuries. Jacarius Peak, Dylan Stewart, and the ripple effect that could cause on both defensive lines. Lots to do with our good friend Chris Clark. That's next here on the Postgame Show.
We have a new way
time for you to call the AAA Heating and Air phone lines. Just dial pound 250, and when prompted, punch in the keywords, the game. And that's it. Again, pound 250 with the keywords, the game.
Love telling you about integrated media, all they can do for you when it comes to home theater. There is so much more than that because let's be honest, in order to really enjoy all those things with home theater, you do have to pay for it. And I got a question for you. When's the last time you checked how much you're paying for your internet, for your TV package, for your streaming services? What speeds are you paying for? How much per month? $10 a month? $20 per box? Do you even really know? As part of the services Integrated Media provides, they know current packages for all of these things, and they'll help you cut down on your monthly TV and internet packages. They recently actually helped somebody save more than $2,000 per year and got them better internet at the same time. They know what providers are in your area, know how to show you what you're paying for, and what you can do to maximize all of those dollars. Great home theater, great service, great people to work with. 803-948-8327. Nobody better for your home entertainment than Integrated Media.
If you need orthopedic or neurosurgical care, it's a big deal to you and to us. At Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery, we offer easy access to seasoned physicians with the most extensive outpatient experience in the region. Whether it's joint replacement, a neck or back procedure, or injury care, you can trust us to provide customized treatment plans with easy access, great outcomes, and lower cost to you. Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.
Elijah Campbell here with 107.5 The Game to tell you that Back to School 2026 is here. New backpacks, new schedules, new routines. Now give your home a fresh start with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of insanely clean carpets plus a free hallway for just $109. Plus, save $75 on professional air duct cleaning to help everyone breathe a little easier this school year. Book today at ZeroResColumbia.com. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
At AAA Heating and Air, home comfort is their top priority. Call today to schedule a seasonal maintenance appointment. Let AAA Heating and Air qualified technicians put your mind at ease with a thorough inspection and cleaning of your heating and cooling system. Join their popular AAA Comfort Club to take advantage of extras like flexible visits, added discounts, and priority scheduling. Visit callAAAtoday.com to schedule an appointment. Tell them Preston on The Game sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Hey guys, Wes Mitchell from Gamecock Central here to make sure your business and property parking lots are kept available from any unwanted cars taking up your spots with Schroeder's Towing. For instance, you're coming in hot to the game studios for your show and you park next door in an unauthorized lot with signage that was provided for free from Schroeder's Towing. Next thing you know, the show is in the books and your car is out of the lot. It really is that simple. That's a true story. Call Schroeder's today and keep those unwanted cars out of your lots. Online at schroederstowing.net.
Just dial pound 250 and use the keyword tow truck.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
Where the Midlands get engaged isn't just a tagline, it's who we are at Traditions Fine Jewelers. Hey, Scott here letting you know that for years we've helped people from all walks of life find the perfect engagement ring, from radio and TV personalities to community leaders and couples just like you. When you're ready, we want to help you too. Come see, touch, and feel more than 1,000 bridal options, or let our experienced team help you create a one-of-a-kind custom ring designed around your style and budget. Traditions Fine Jewelers, where the Midlands get engaged.
Hendrick. The most trusted name in automotive is right here in Columbia. Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. Buy now and make no payments for 3 months. Shop the nation's #1 dealer group, Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast.
These players are battered and exhausted, but you don't hurt like this if you don't care about this team, about this country, about this game.
I think you can feel the intensity, the goals, the energy, the wow, look at us.
Here in the U.S., I have got some news for you. There's so much more to come. My name is Megan Klingberg, and we're just getting started.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast, presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
3:32 on this Monday. Welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on. Jay Phillips, Jalen Tart with you. Terry Ford is away today. Back with us tomorrow. Again, Shane Beamer live tomorrow, 1 o'clock for the weekly press conference. We'll have plenty of thoughts on that throughout the course of the afternoon. Always a pleasure to be joined by our good friend Chris Clark, who is not only killing it over at Gamecock Central in a good way, but is a regular part of what we do here on the game. You're not. Well, never mind. Let's just move on. We need to talk football. I don't want to be a smart. I've already been a smart ass today, Chris. I gotta settle down. It's a Monday. I got a long week to go. Let's start with the big news, and that's the season-ending injuries already to the two Jadens, Sellers and Gibson. Compare and contrast what their roles were going to be, and how. I guess we don't really know how big a deal this is yet because we're still only halfway through camp. But projection-wise, this looks to be significant.
Yeah, I think, and not to diminish, any season-ending injury. You hate it for those guys. I mean, Jaden Gibson is now on his, I think third major injury, and hate it for Jaden Sellers too. Both those guys, hate it for the team and for those guys individually. Never want to see it. I do think there's levels to all injuries in terms of, like, once you get past, hey, hate it for those guys, like, what is the impact, right? And so Jaden Sellers is, I think, the starting point because this is a kid who came in a pretty heralded 2025 recruiting class and was one of the better guys out there, maybe the best, kind of really came on the back half of last year, made plays, was locked in a battle with Mazio Bennett to be the starting slot receiver, and regardless of who would have ended up winning that job, quote unquote, to be the first guy out there against Kent State, but those guys are going to play a lot, and so that job probably, by default becomes Mazio's now, but Jaden Sellers is going to play a lot. He's got no surprise, got a great chemistry and rapport with his brother, Lenore Sellers, of course, and, is someone who I think has gotten better, had a really good, off season from, really the whole year from winter workouts up until he got injured, had a really nice year and someone the staff was excited about. So when you're losing a guy who's good enough to start for you and at worst play a bunch of snaps for you and make plays, that's tough. Jaden Gibson was someone who, hasn't played football in a game since 2023. He had a really good freshman year for Oklahoma, caught 5 touchdowns as a true freshman that year. A little bit more of a question mark, or I think maybe the best way to put it's a wild card. He was one of a bunch of guys who were kind of fighting in the preseason to get into that rotation. So you do have some, I think you would say, potential depth there because you've got a lot of guys who athletically are very talented. You've got some guys who have done it, whether here at South Carolina or at other places, who I think have all elevated their game. It's a very competitive room. You're down a couple guys now, including a guy who's good enough to be your starter or kind of a co-starter, guy that plays a lot. So it's a tough blow. But, at the same time, 2 of the spots opposite Nick Harbor have been up for grabs, and so it just gives some of those other guys an opportunity to go out and try to win those jobs and get snaps. On Gibson, real quick, because I think you laid it out pretty good for us in terms of what Jaden Sellers could provide. But with Gibson, there's a jump ball guy as tall as Nick Harbor, and Carolina's got some guys with a little bit of size, but nobody like that. How big a deal from that perspective do you see his injury, or at least the competition for somebody who can go up and get it like that? Yeah, I mean, you can go back and look at what he did that freshman year at Oklahoma, and it's had a lot that's happened since then, especially with injuries, where, again, it's question mark. Is he going to be fully healthy and back on the field? Of course, no, unfortunately, with a new injury, but he does have that type of ability. Like, was talking to somebody this morning and who was kind of recalling, hey, I remember Jaden Gibson as a big-time recruit. Carolina recruited him out of high school, and he has that type of ability. He just hasn't been all put together for various reasons for him. So it was kind of unclear, Jay, like, what would his role be? Like, would he play significant snaps this year? I think that was still to be determined, if he had been able to go through camp healthy. Now, could he have been, a situational guy? Maybe so. At worst, is he a situational guy? Maybe. So, yeah, I mean, Carolina has, I think they have got a bunch of different skill sets there at receiver, and he certainly would have given them a different look. At the same time, I think the staff is looking for, who's most consistent out there, regardless of body type, skill set. Like, we want guys on the field that we can trust, and whether or not he would have been those guys, or, you could put a few other guys in that category from that room, kind of remains to be seen. And you would have loved to get through preseason camp having a full slate for competition and just let the chips fall, but that's not to be.
Gamecock Central's Chris Clark with us here. Carolina had their first scrimmage of August camp on Saturday night. Another one coming up this weekend. All right, let's put for a minute, just so you can answer this question for me more easily for me. Jaden Sellers, if he were number one, Mazio Bennett number two. Sellers out, Bennett moves up. Who moves in behind Bennett, assuming for now that's what a depth chart would look like?
Yeah, and I think one thing, Jay, is, like, depending on the day, I mean, that's how close some of these races have been. Some days, if you ask me, hey, would Jaden have been the starter in the slot, I'd say yes. If you'd asked me recently, there have been days where I'd say, actually, I think it's going to be Mazio Bennett, and Jaden's going to play a lot, but if that was your version, right, or just say Mazio's one and Sellers was two, who's three, who's that next guy? I think, look at Sequel Patterson, very intriguing player. First of all, reclassed. So he's a year younger than he should be. And if he sees the field, I'm sure the broadcasts will remind us of that 700 times that he should still be in high school. But he did reclass.
Ryan Williams, anybody?
Ryan, Jake Bentley,
Yeah.
If Jordan Gidron would have played more last year, I mean, they would have been able to say this guy literally is a year and a half young because he enrolled early and graduated high school early. But Patterson, first of all, he reclassed. Second of all, he's one of only a few guys that did not go through spring ball. So no winter workout program, no spring ball. The interesting thing about Sequel is even in that receiver room with a lot of competition and, frankly, guys that have just been around longer, even, the redshirt freshmen and sophomores and guys that kind of were around this program, he still created some buzz for himself in summer workouts, player run practices, and early in spring ball because he's not the biggest guy, but he's a three-sport guy in high school and is a really good athlete, just like catches the ball naturally, can run, can move, he's quick, he's smooth. Like, he checks a lot of those boxes. And so I think that's immediately where your mind goes, like, who could this – it sounds terrible to say who could this benefit, but, if you're looking for, hey, we got to get another guy with a similar skill set, kind of a slot-type skill set ready, well, Sequel Patterson's one to look out for. I think the question is, okay, he did a really good job before the pads came on. Will that translate? The pads went on Friday, first scrimmage Saturday. Haven't heard as much about him one way or another. That's not a negative. Since that, do we hear more about him? Because he's probably going to get more practice opportunities, probably going to draw a stronger look. So he's probably the first one where my mind would go. You also have, you got a guy like Nitro Tuggle who's been working more outside, but he also has, he's got slot-like capabilities. So I think you have some potential versatility there. But Sequel Patterson is one to monitor.
Let's talk about the two big names that, while not season-ending, have certainly, raised eyebrows, and that's Jacarius Peak at tackle, and obviously Dylan Stewart, not going through the motions just yet. Saw some B-roll footage of Jacarius, pretty big knee brace still over there, Chris, which makes a lot of sense. But what are you hearing about their timeline? And, I know Shane said they're on schedule, but, like a lot of fans are like, well, on schedule for what? And did they need to be in football shape? So what is that looking like?
Yeah, it's almost the unanswerable question, because I think a lot of people have asked just what you did, Jay. If they're on schedule, what is the target? And I think in some ways it's a moving target, right? Like, when people heard about Peak's injury, it was immediately, okay, when can he be back? And you kind of go, well, he could be back by this date. It could be later. It could be earlier. A lot of it depends on recovery. For Dylan Stewart, it depends on recovery. And I think one reason we haven't gotten clarity, particularly with Stewart, is because, you still have to kind of wait and see, all right, let's say hypothetically, if he's got to continue checking in with the doctor. Shane Beamer's mentioned doctor's appointments for those guys and being monitored and doing rehab and doing training, doing what they can, with the team while they're still recovering. At some point they're going to say, okay, we think you can be cleared for this date, or you can be cleared for a little bit more and a little bit more. And some of that can be a moving target. So I know everybody wants to know, are they playing against Kent State? Are they limited versus Kent State? Are they going to be held out until Mississippi State? And frankly, we just don't know. There might be some more clarity over the next couple weeks. Maybe we hear, hey, Peaks, got his helmet and pads on. Hey, Stewart's back out there running around a little bit with a blue jersey. And that neither of those have happened yet. But I want an answer just as much as anyone else. But I think we just don't have the answer yet. I don't think it's a situation where they know 100%, all right, here's the exact plan. Here's exactly what's going to happen. And we're just not telling anybody. Of course, we're not giving all the information publicly. But I think there's just kind of a wait and see as they continue to recover. I do think the one thing I'll dispel is this notion that seen a little bit of fringe. Well, Dylan Stewart's not playing this year. Okay, well, that's from the same school of Dylan's going to transfer before he even gets to South Carolina. He's going to transfer every offseason he's been here. He was sandbagging last year, which is obviously not true, as we know now. The plan is for these guys to play safely, when they can. And so I expect them both on the field. We just don't know when, and when they'll be 100% full go. We just don't know yet.
Got about a minute left. Give us the latest assessment of what's going on at running back. Who might have stood out this weekend?
Heard really good things about Christian Clark. He's had a big preseason. I mean, all the guys there, again, depending on the day, you'll hear, hey, Jawan Howell had a good day today. Don't sleep on Jabri Coleman. Very competitive room. Matt Fuller, I think, is still kind of running at the lead of the pack. He's been in a blue jersey, but he's fine, I think. Clark has picked up a lot of buzz as well. So they don't have a guy returning who's a 1,000-yard rusher, but they seem to feel pretty good about that room so far.
Good stuff as always, sir. We appreciate you. We'll check in again soon.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you, man.
That's Chris Clark, Gamecock Central, and, of course, part of what we do every single morning here on the game as well. GC Chris Clark to follow along on Twitter. Lots more to do on the Monday postgame show.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
This is Bill Gunner with 107.5 The Game and the Game Network. If you run a diner, bakery, coffee shop, burger joint, pizza spot, or that hidden gem everybody should know about, how would you like to get the word out about your business without spending a dime? Well, we got you. All you have to do is text your name, your business, and your phone number to 803-404-6100. That's 803-404-6100. And we'll be in touch. There's no catch. Times are tough, and we're here just trying to help you get folks in the door of your business.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Scotty Scheffler won the FedEx St. Jude's Championship to kick off the FedEx Cup playoffs. Scheffler won by 8 strokes. It's Scheffler's 21st win of his career. It's also the 11th straight time that he's led a tournament after 54 holes and went on to win. The second round of the playoffs start on Thursday in St. Louis for the BMW Championship. I'm Chris Black.
Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Last week, Milwaukee was trading at 9% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out $1,000 with a win. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market. As the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it's legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. Bonus credits do not expire. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast Soft Chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast Soft Chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast Soft Chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast Soft Chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 1075 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube. Time to open the vaults, sponsored by Purple Wave Auction. It's the Postgame Show on the Game Network.
All right, welcome back in. 11 minutes in front of 4 o'clock on this Monday. Jay and Jalen with you. Terry is away. Thanks once again to our good friend Chris Clark for joining us. Some insights on what's going on around Carolina. Terry not here, but we'll still open the vault. On this date, 1933, Jalen Tart, Lou Gehrig played in what was then the record consecutive 1,308th game. He went on to play in a few more.
That's a lot of games.
1,308.
God, that's a lot of games.
And he went on to, what 21? What is it? No, I can't remember.
I don't even, yeah.
A lot. This is crazy. On this date, this is crazy and terrible all at the same time. On this date in 1957, the Phillies' Richie Ashburn fouled a ball off and hit a fan named Alice Roth. It broke her nose. That's not good.
That's very brutal.
During the same at bat, he hit her again while she was being placed on a stretcher.
How does that happen? See, this is where I wish there was video of this so that we could see this happen.
Well, in the same at bat, like I guess they waited for a while.
Yeah.
Oh no, this lady has a broken nose, so like we're going to pause because I had to look twice to make sure. I was like, in the same at bat or in the same game, but it stresses here in the same at bat. Can you imagine? And then he hits the poor lady while she's on the
stretcher.
Dude,
that's brutal.
And I mean, you couldn't if you wanted to, you couldn't do it. You know, that's the thing. Like if you went said, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit somebody twice with a foul ball.
I would look at them crazy. I'm like, are you crazy to even say something like that? Man, that's brutal.
I don't know what happened to Miss Alice Roth, but I hope she was okay, man. And I hope Richie Ashburn, got her a box of donuts.
Yeah, or some flowers or something. Took her to get some food or something.
On this date, 1966, Willie Mays moved into second place on the all-time home run list. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. What else we got here? On this date, 1980, George Brett of the Royals went 4 for 4, raised his batting average to 401. I believe that at the time that was the highest average for a player at this point in the season since Ted Williams. So that's pretty cool. And let's see, a couple others real quick. We mentioned Lou Gehrig playing in his 1,308th game. How about this? On this date, Cal Ripken played in his 1,208th consecutive game.
I know you're a golfer, so Fred Funk won the first of his 3 championship tour majors.
Okay,
on this day. So I don't.
Fred.
So
I don't know which one. Do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm just reading from what's on this website.
Yeah. Nope.
Not Rafael Nadal won the men's tennis gold medal at Beijing.
Okay.
Today.
Okay.
That was 2008.
All right.
Spain winning its first ever Olympic gold medal in tennis. So.
Yeah, tennis took a long time off.
Yeah.
In the Olympics. It's been back for a while now, but I think it took a few decades off for whatever reason. I think just because maybe the major tennis folk were like, that's our realm.
Yeah.
But it's like why they don't treat Olympic soccer the same. FIFA, it's an under-23 tournament.
Yep.
Because FIFA's like, yeah, we have this World Cup. We're going
to wait for that, and then
so Olympics, sure, it's cool, but you can't have everybody.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So there you go. But man, I'm still thinking about poor Alice Ross.
Yeah, because how was she in that position?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can't if you woke up and wanted to do it, man. If you were a baseball player,
she was already in pain.
Yeah, but if you walked out onto a field and you looked in the stands, and you found a random person, and you said, "All right, that lady right there
is gonna get hit again.
I'm gonna hit her with a foul ball. A foul ball. You're not throwing it at her. A foul ball.
I would have laughed.
And then a few minutes later, when she's being stretchered out of the ballpark, I will do it again. You couldn't. I don't see how you could make it. You couldn't make it happen.
What did the sports world do to her?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know what did she do to deserve.
I'm gonna try to. Maybe I'll look up what happened after.
We could come back to this at the end of the show. Like that's
Did Ms. Roth spend some time in the hospital? Where did the ball that while she was on the stretcher? Where did that hit her?
Right.
Man,
Lee.
Again, couldn't do it if you wanted to, and yet it happened. Hour 1 in the books. More on Gamecock injuries, depth charts. It's the postgame show.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
Gamecock Traditions ready to get you outfitted for the coming Carolina football season and really just the whole school year. I mean, they got stuff for the office. They got stuff for cold weather. They got stuff for the game. Whatever you need, they've got it for you at Gamecock Traditions. You like ball caps, the wall of caps, or hats, if you want to call them hats. David Cloninger doesn't like that. But anyway, the wall of caps, even better than ever now. And, of course, all of the Nike gear coming in. There's new stuff that arrives on a very regular basis. You can check it out online. Better yet, stop in and see them. Sandhills in the Northeast, or their location in Lexington right across from Target. And if you want to buy online, you're still buying local. They pull it right off the shelf, right there in stock, pack it up, and send it to you. So no matter what, you're buying local. More than 20 million beat stickers given out. Tells you how long they've been doing it. Gamecock Traditions. Get ready for the coming season with Gamecock Traditions.
How can I help you?
Live agent?
How can I help you?
Live agent!
Stop talking to robots and start talking to Cumulus Digital. When you have questions about your business, you shouldn't have to settle for a virtual person. You need a real local marketing expert who knows your streets and your neighbors. We're right here. For personal service and proven results, visit cumulusdigital.com, fill out the form, and connect to a real person.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Bottles are filling and payroll's next. Whoa, what the?
I'm you with more gusto.
What's with the leather jacket?
It's kind of my new vibe. Which, by the way, switch to Gusto for payroll.
Switch? Oh, that's always such a headache.
With Gusto, it's effortless. Kind of like looking cool in this jacket. Payroll, benefits, even 401k. Simple.
Can I try it on?
Gusto? Sure. The jacket? No. Switch to effortless payroll. Choose a future with Gusto.
Need a roof? Trust Crescent Construction. With over 20,000 roofs installed and counting, they've got the experience you need. They specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, and general contracting. Visit CrescentCarolina.com today for free estimates and free inspections. That's right, no cost, no commitment. Crescent Construction, quality you can count on. For all your roofing and construction needs, visit CrescentCarolina.com now.
Bill Gunner for AAA Heating and Air. The spring is here. Dust, pollen, spring cleaning, all those important things. But have you even thought about the air quality inside your home? How are those air ducts holding up? Well, AAA Heating and Air is ready to help you. Visit them on the website. Call AAAtoday.com. Again, that's call AAAtoday.com. Call AAA Heating and Air and tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
If you have nagging arthritis pain that won't go away and nothing seems to help, you may need to consider joint replacement, and that can be a little unsettling. At Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery, we understand and can help put your mind at ease. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and advanced technology enable our team to deliver consistently excellent joint replacement outcomes with no hospital stay and lower cost to you. Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
4 o'clock on this Monday. Welcome back in. Hour 2 of the post-game show coming at you from downtown Columbia's Herndon Chevy Studios. Jay Phillips here. Jalen Tart at Master Control. Terry Ford is out today, back with us on tomorrow's program. Thanks again to Chris Clark for joining us. If you missed that, Jalen's going to re-rack some of that for us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour as part of the Gamecock Notebook, but some good insights there on the injuries to Jaden Gibson and Jaden Sellers and what that means. Guys playing two different wide receiver positions, so they weren't really battling for the same spot. Again, Jaden Gibson, along with Nick Harbor, easily Carolina's tallest receivers, both of those guys at 6'5". Jaden, vying for the spot in the slot where he was going to play.
Yes.
Yeah, simply a matter of, was he the starter? Does that really matter? What's the rotation look like? I mean, let's face it, it's mid-August. You can always continue to grow and earn more playing time through the course of the year. But we'll get into some of those things for you in just a little bit. Jalen has just shared some breaking news with me. The Buss family has agreed now to sell its remaining ownership stake in the Lakers. Remember, just last week, Mark Walter, who had bought the majority of the Lakers from the Buss family last year, somewhat stunningly, although now we understand that it's because he's in some pretty good federal financial trouble. Yeah. In fact, I got one more on Mark Walter real quick that I think is interesting. Anyway, the Buss family still owned about 18% of the Lakers. That's a pretty significant chunk.
Yeah.
And Jeannie Buss was still the governor of the Lakers. So she was still the one going to the league meetings, making the decisions on behalf of the organization. But the Buss Family Trust today composed of Jeannie and her brothers and sisters. She's one of 6, by the way.
Yep.
Has decided to sell. So with the valuation going from $10 billion to $12.5 billion, they'll now sell that 17.8%. That's their official stake that's left to the Bob Iger and Kushner Group, and move on about their business. And it says here that last year when they sold Jalen, the 6 Bus children, after taxes, all received about $500 million each for what they sold.
Wow.
So they'll each be adding, they'll go out and buy themselves a Corolla or some such with the new money.
Or save it. or save it.
Yeah.
I mean,
or maybe they'll buy a Toyota dealership. I don't know. One or the other.
46 years was how long they owned, that family owned.
And Dr. Jerry Buss, I will say that he was an owner, man. He was good. He's the model owner.
He was one of the guys that kind of like paved the way of what the old school owner looked like.
Yeah.
So I admired Dr. Buss and how he
you call him old school. I call him sort of new school because I was a little kid when he bought that. And I don't remember. Look, I just know this. He immediately bought them and understood that there was something far greater than playing basketball. It was entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out and he got the big names, and he got a coach in Pat Riley to put a style of ball on the floor that brought the celebs, that brought the attention. And not only that, they won a lot. I mean, while Magic was there, they won 5 titles. They lost a couple of finals.
And then Kobe Bryant and Shaq.
Yeah, then Kobe and Shaq, right? And Pau Gasol. And even though he's gone, but Jeannie understood those things from her father.
Yeah.
And you brought in LeBron, and LeBron won a title. And so it's just Dr. Buss had a different and far more positive effect on the sport because it's entertainment. I mean, the NBA, I can't credit him alone, right? But the NBA was floundering. I mean, it wasn't. College basketball was big, and there were pockets where the NBA was big. But there's no real argument that when he bought the Lakers and put money into the Lakers, and again, they were able to get Magic, and they brought Kareem in, and they got Worthy, there's 3 Hall of Famers, man. And for James Worthy, I've always said, for James Worthy to just go, no, it's cool. I'll take the second back seat. I'm still going to the Hall of Fame.
Can we give credit to Jerry Reinsdorf from the Bulls that paid? I mean, but most of the publicity was on Krause, if so to speak, for that Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Reinsdorf, listen, you can give some credit to them, if only to make certain that they kept Michael Jordan. But if I'm not mistaken, again, somebody can double check me because I'm not going to be able to go look it up. I don't know how many times, if at all, Michael was ever actually the highest paid player in basketball. He might have been for a little stretch of his career, but there were a lot of times when he was not.
Yeah.
So I see where you're taking that. I don't give them, I would not put them in the same category as Dr. Buss.
Okay.
Because they knew they drafted a good player. I mean, Jordan was, he
was good.
But did you know he was going to turn into that? I think, honestly, man, it took a few years.
I mean, we could say the same thing about Kobe. Nobody knew. He wanted to.
Well, he was in high school, so you really didn't know Kobe. I mean, at least with Jordan, he had won a title at Chapel Hill. He was National Player of the Year. He was an All-American, been on an Olympic team. There was a lot more about Jordan that you knew. Or when Isaiah went to Detroit, he had won a title at Indiana.
Yep.
Again, Magic had won a title at Michigan State. Kareem had won his titles, plural, at UCLA. And with Milwaukee. So, after then he got traded. There was Worthy was on a title team in Chapel Hill.
Him too.
So again, the Bulls, what you give credit, and I would say to Krause over the owner Reinsdorf, is finally realizing, all right, look, we might have a singular talent like no one's ever seen, but a singular talent alone cannot win a championship. And to go out and get Scotty, to get Phil, to get the pieces around him, B.J. Armstrong and all those guys, Horace Grant, and put together a team, Oakley, that was, and then they became something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they became more than something.
I just think
Tony
Dr.
Kukoc,
Bush,
by the way, bringing Tony Kukoc over from Europe.
Dr. Bush just gave a different feel.
It's just, but he changed it.
He did change.
Because he wanted to entertain you. He knew, the number one thing to do here is win. But I just bought the team in Los Angeles. I want, and so what he wanted, he got.
Yep.
Because they were successful. But you had Jack Nicholson with this, that's the sideline seat, the courtside seats, and being seen at the games and all that, like that all. Now that's
now you're seeing
fare.
that at the Knicks. Now you're seeing that with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Now, so
and it's remained that way in LA. So, by the way, just real quick here before we get back into some football stuff, I mentioned Mark Walter. Mark Walter also, his group also is part of the ownership group of Chelsea.
Okay.
And
interesting.
It looks like he and his partner, Todd Bowley, are going to be selling their stake in Chelsea as well.
Wow.
So that just came out in London over the weekend. So this is clearly a way to raise capital for whatever reason.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if he doesn't realize, oh, well, the feds are after me. Apparently, there are a lot of tax fraud and some other things. Most of his business, as I understand it, is in the insurance industry. But he is under investigation for tax fraud by other companies that are tied to him.
Mm-hmm.
And you just wonder if this isn't a way, again, to raise capital, because it's like we always say, when the feds, by the time it's known that the feds are investigating you for things like that, chances are real good that they've got all the evidence they need.
It's only a matter of time, basically.
And so they're going to say, you don't have to go to jail, but
we're coming for you.
Here's the fine.
Yep.
And the fine is not going to be, $20 and some community service. So he's probably going like, better see if I can't raise a few billion here and see if I'm going to be all right. So there you go. But the Buss family, done after, would you say how many years?
46.
46 years. They did great, man.
They was amazing.
And kudos to Jeannie, because, for the last few years while Dr. Buss was alive, she was still running things. Mm-hmm. And, of course, she and Phil were dating, and that was always like one of those, like,
that was
kind of weird.
Whole.
But you know what? They were still winning, so who cares?
Yeah.
But she was very good at her job, too. But, again, I will say, that's the end of an era in the NBA.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing, man.
Yep.
They knew what they were doing. There's no question about that. All right. We'll come back here on the other side, back into some Gamecock notes for you. Once again, if you have not yet heard, 2 big injuries to Carolina receivers this weekend. Jaden Gibson, the 6'5" transfer from Oklahoma, done for the season. Jaden Sellers, Lenoris' younger brother, done for the season as well, both with what were described as lower body injuries. And I'll read you Shane's statement on the other side, too. We'll get into some other depth chart situations from the scrimmage and get you ready for the coming week ahead. Again, Shane Beamer will speak tomorrow afternoon live at 1 o'clock, so we'll have that for you, too. Plenty more to do on a busy Monday. It's the Postgame Show.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
The Game Summer Golf Classic is coming Friday, August 28th at Charwood Golf Club in the heart of Pine Ridge. Co-hosted by the Lexington County Gamecock Club. 9:30 a.m. shotgun start. The world-famous onion sausage for breakfast. And Little Pig supplies lunch. The morning libations bar from Saki's Wine and Spirits. The Golf Gun is back with proceeds going to Camp Discovery. Also, lots of free stuff. And you can win Gamecocks football tickets. $440 a foursome. Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 and hit prompt number 2. Come hang out with us at the Game Summer Golf Event on Friday, August 28th. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
Been dreaming of a pool in your backyard? Well, maybe it's time for you to discover the Griffin difference. Stanley Griffin built a pool in his backyard back in 1976 and said, man, that's a good pool. You know what I'm going to do? Start building pools. More than 50 years later, they are still going strong. Griffin Pool's now a national leader in the pool industry. They've been respected for years by competitors and peers and, of course, their customers. And when you get a Griffin Pool, you know you have got the best in the Midlands. Custom pool design for in-ground pools. If you can dream it up, they can help you build it. Or if you just want something simple, they can get it done. Or the affordability of an above-ground pool. So you and your family can just go out and take a dip and do that a whole lot more affordably. Saltwater pools, low maintenance. They're with you from start to finish to minimize those disruptions and make sure that you are swimming as quickly as possible once you have that pool. They'll help you analyze the water and so much more to keep it nice and clean all year. 957-2121 online, griffinpoolsandspas.com.
Sponsored by the Blood Connection.
Earn $70 in TBC rewards when you donate blood with the Blood Connection. Local patients need your help. Will you be the reason someone gets another tomorrow? Only 3% donate, and that's not enough. Donate today. Visit thebloodconnection.org. Some exclusions apply.
It's the Hendrick Chevrolet Countdown to Kickoff. 19 days away.
Hendrick.
The most trusted name in automotive is right here in Columbia. Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. Buy now and make no payments for 3 months. Shop the nation's #1 dealer group, Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
How can I help you?
Live agent!
Stop talking to robots and start talking to Cumulus Digital. Get help from a real digital marketing expert who knows your streets and neighbors. Go to cumulusdigital.com, fill out the form, and connect to a real person.
At Pioneer Tree Service, the Gant family's been taking care of trees in Columbia and surrounding areas for over 48 years. You'll see their trucks everywhere around the Midlands. They do tree work for homes and property owners and commercial jobs like the State House, Midlands Tech, City of Columbia, and the University of South Carolina. Pioneer Tree Service provides tree and shrub removal, tree pruning and thinning, tree planting, cabling and bracing, stump grinding and removal, storm damage service, property cleaning and grading, right-of-way maintenance, and more. The Gant family and their team at Pioneer Tree Service can be trusted to provide professional and quality tree services with affordable pricing and prompt service. Call them today for a free estimate. 803-794-8253. Jed Ziegler said, excellent communication from Madison and her crew. They were quick and efficient. They even raked and cleaned up the driveway, backyard. I highly recommend them for tree trimming and tree removal. Here's one of the Gant girls, Madison Gant.
Call us today for a free estimate at 803-794-8253 or check us out online at pioneertreesc.com.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Hate paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free. Just download the 107.5 The Game app.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
.416 on this Monday. Welcome back in. Jay and Jalen with you. Terry is away today talking some Gamecock football. Again, rough news over the weekend. Shane Beamer announcing that wide receivers Jaden Gibson and Jaden Sellers will both miss the entire 2026 campaign. Gibson transferred in after 4 years at Oklahoma. He appeared in 22 games for the Sooners, 15 catches over there. Jaden, in 7 games last year at Carolina, had 22 catches as well, 337 yards. That was the best mark for a Carolina freshman. Jaden Sellers, of course, is Lenoris's younger brother. And again, the chemistry there was great. you could tell there was something growing amongst those guys, but it's tough to see. Coach Beamer did put out a statement yesterday that said, "I am extremely disappointed for both of these young men. I know how hard each of them has worked over the spring and summer to get ready for 2026 to help our team. I have full confidence they will both overcome the adversity they're facing, and we will help them in whatever way we can throughout the rehab process moving forward." Again, only described for now. We may learn more, but only described as lower body injuries. So I'm not even going to speculate. I mean, lower body injuries. So anything below the waist. I mean, knee, hip, ankle.
I just hope
Achilles.
it's not what I think. I just hope it's not what I think.
You know, I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say it could be what, lower body.
Yeah. I have nothing else to add.
But yeah, I mean, what are you going to say, right? I mean, until we, and again, I don't want to say it doesn't matter.
It's devastating
because it does matter. I
yes,
mean,
it does,
if it's a season-ending injury, and it's the second week of camp, then it's pretty serious.
Yeah,
as a lower body injury, and I can appreciate the want and need for some privacy right now as these young men get their medical assessments and figure out what's up. But if you know they're done. From what I understand, Gibson actually got hurt in practice during the week, and Jaden Sellers got hurt during the scrimmage. So, again, does it matter? Yeah, in terms of recovery time and what they're going to be facing. Does it matter in terms of the season or to know right away? No, you just wish them the best.
Yeah.
In terms of what that does to open things up, we did talk to Chris Clark about that. And, again, we'll have that interview for you coming up as part of the Gamecock Notebook in about an hour's time, give or take. But, I think Chris and a lot of other guys that are doing this, whether it's at Gamecock Central or other sites and outlets, reporting that there was a pretty good battle for that number one slot receiver spot with Jaden Sellers and Mazeo Bennett. And Chris even said it ebbed and flowed a little bit to where, depending on the day or the conversation with whomever, that one may have been above the other, and then those places would have reversed.
So it was an even
a pretty
battle.
good battle, which is good. You want to hear that.
Yes.
I think you want – listen, you're going to want Mike Furry and Kendall Briles and Shane Beamer to go down to the wire on these decisions, in my opinion. Like, the longer it takes them to make these decisions, I think that's a sign that the better things are in camp.
And that tells you, too, of how competitive both the candidates are.
Right.
So that way, if, like, for example, with this situation, you got full confidence in Mazeo Bennett to see that he can improve from the season that he had last year, dealing with Mike Shula being at the offensive coordinator, him not having available time to play. He could potentially get his shot this season.
The one thing Chris said, so what I'll just come back to what I asked Chris during the interview last hour was, okay, for the sake of the discussion, we're going to just look at that slot receiver spot, and we're going to take Jaden Sellers. So whether it was Sellers 1 and Bennett 2 or vice versa, it doesn't matter. We've now moved Sellers out. So who moves in to that position? And he said, in his opinion, it's Sequel Patterson, who should be going into his senior year of high school.
But he's not. But he's now in the Garden and Black.
Yeah.
And he said that, he's quick. He's a three-sport athlete. Smooth game, has natural catching hands, that's kind of something that you're not able to hear from a player evaluation. Natural catcher, that means that in a contested type throw, you can catch the ball in a situation like that. So to hear that, I'm like, okay, that means he's very serious of catching the ball, knowing where it is, and making plays. And
Chris put a couple of caveats into the conversation of saying things like, look, he's done well the first few weeks of camp, but it was without pads. Pads didn't go on until, I say the first few weeks of camp, really only been, a week and a half now of camp. But the pads went on Friday, first scrimmage Saturday. So, what were the reps like Friday and Saturday for Sequel relative to what Bennett and Sellers had been getting? Because there is going to be a pecking order regardless, right? And so now you move into it. So Chris said I wouldn't take, a lack of real news coming out about Sequel Patterson over the weekend as any kind of sign of his progress or lack thereof, only because he was at best third on the chart. And there is no chart, by the way. But if there is one, it's like the English Constitution. It's in the ether.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, it's there, but you don't see it.
But it's good to hear that.
But now he's moved up. So this week, what does it look like?
This is it's good to hear that a freshman is creating buzz in your wide receiver room to where he wants minutes on the field. And I think that we're going to get it. If he continues this pace and this trajectory, it doesn't have to be rapid. It could be, a gradual trajectory where we can see him get better each and every game throughout the season.
And, I'm curious, too, as to where some of these guys, again, you look at that slot position, but like where the size and ability and what they're looking for begins to blend or change. Again, we talked about Jaden Gibson going down. He's what I like to call, a jump ball guy. I mean, he's 6'5".
Yes.
So he's doing things that are very different than your 5'10" to 6 foot slot receiver. And Carolina has some receivers with some decent size. I mean, Donovan Murph is over 6 feet tall. Nitro Tuggle is over 6 feet tall. Malik Clark is a redshirt freshman over 6 feet tall. So you've got some guys that can go up and get it. Maybe not to the point of being 6'5" like Harbor and Gibson were. But what does that do to change things?
I mean, DJ Black, 6'2", 205.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't heard any, but I mean, could he potentially?
That's what I'm saying. You look at some of these guys, and I know they like Stone Furry as a freshman.
Yeah, 22 receptions, 273 yards.
I mean, do you want Tuggle to line up, outside or inside? I mean, these are all, again. I think this, and I'm going to use this term for another position a little bit later on, too, because there's a few of them where this is happening because of injury, the ripple effect. I don't know how much this really changes the overall structure. And I think, Chris, it's interesting because we didn't talk about it ahead of time, and he and I both used a word that you really don't want to use, and that is benefit. There's no benefit here when you look at a negative situation, but it is, who does this benefit was how it came up for me when I was talking to you, Jalen, and then later in the interview, Chris said the same thing, that you don't want to use the word benefit, but the next man up is the next man up.
Yeah.
And so you have to find those silver linings, which is where that word might come into play, even though you'd rather not have to be dealing with it, but you are. So you are. And so I don't know right now, and I think Chris even kind of said the same thing. It's difficult to say what this is going to do because they do have enough time.
They do.
This is not, and you just, cross your fingers, knock on wood, all those things. This didn't happen in mid-October where you had maybe established a pretty good pecking order and a good rapport and start, so if there are benefits, and there aren't really a lot because you've just lost some experience depth.
I'm just interested to see what Shane has to say about the wide receiver now competition with this.
Yeah,
with it. So
well, it's gonna change it, but it's gonna force Bennett, Murph, Tuggle. I think again Patterson.
And Patterson.
Yeah, I think those are the names that you'll probably hear most. That in terms of somebody behind Harbor size, you mentioned Black at 6'2". Who else? Malik Clark, 6'2". So you've got some guys with some size out there. Jordan Gidron from here in Columbia at Ridgeview. Again, young players. So how quickly for some of these guys can Mike Furry coach them up?
We shall see.
We'll get them ready. All right, lots more to do around the Gamecocks. If you've got thoughts on this, again, what you're looking at for the depth chart, let us know. 803-404-6100. We'll get to some of that, or you can hit us up in the YouTube chat for those of you watching along there on the interwebs. We'll come back with a few more thoughts around college football. Kurt Signetti says, yeah, we'll play Notre Dame. But, man, the way he lays it out, I just got to tell you, Coach Sig, it ain't happening. We'll do that. We'll recap the AP Top 25 for you, too, and more thoughts on Carolina football, a busy college football Monday on the Postgame Show.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach. It's 2026 SEC Media Days.
And the Game was there all week.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think if you look across college football specifically, but college athletics, the best teams, in my opinion, year in, year out, are the oldest teams.
On the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
All right, those of you who are English football fans, the season kicks off this weekend. No better place to enjoy all that action than the British Bulldog Pub in Harbison. Get in there early. They're open. All the games, all the teams, all the TVs. Maybe your fan club is in there, or the people that you just want to cheer against. Just, do it responsibly. Great beer list. Stay for lunch. And, of course, hey, all your American football favorites are going to be on there. Whatever you want to watch when it comes to sports, they've got it on all the time. And don't forget to get a big basket of loaded London chips, or my favorite, sausage rolls. Again, I could eat my weight. Their delicious Bulldog sampler lets you get a whole bunch of their great appetizers, including Scotch eggs, Irish egg rolls. Oh, all so good. Tower London Burger if you're super hungry. Bower Parkway in Harbison. Whether it's soccer this weekend, football, all throughout the season, British Bulldog Pub has you going.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
If you have tax problems, it can affect all aspects of your life. Now's the time to do something about it. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. Everyone at our firm truly believes we can improve the lives of our clients by eliminating the stress and worry of IRS tax problems. We're a local South Carolina law firm dedicated to resolving your tax problems for good. Simply put, we solve tax problems. So if you're facing IRS tax liens, bank or wage levies, or have years of unfiled tax returns, come meet with us in person. Your first visit is free and confidential. We'll show you how we will solve your problem and how much it'll cost. So don't put it off any longer. Call us now at 803-771-9800. That's 803-771-9800. Or go to our website at irsproblemsolving.com. It is time to do something about that tax problem. Your solution is right here in South Carolina, so hire a South Carolina attorney. Hire me, John Ecton.
Don't take chances with your plumbing. Trust the professionals at On-Call Plumbing, Heating, and Air. From dripping faucets and leaking pipes to water heaters that stop working, one call handles it all. At On-Call, you get trained technicians, not trained salespeople, focused on solving your problem, not selling you something you don't need. Our team arrives on time, fully equipped and ready to fix it fast. For reliable service you can count on, make the right call. On-Call Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 803-781-HELP or OnCallSC.com.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Report, and we have an accident reported on Clemson Road and Earth Road and Two Notch Road. And we also had accident reported on Assembly Street at Whaley Street, Brookfield Road, in front of Richland Northeast High School, Decker Boulevard at Greenbrier Drive, Leaf Hart Road, at US 1 Augusta Road, Old Charleston Road, at Oaks Ferry Road, Shop Road and South Beltline Boulevard, Sparkleberry Lane at Valhalla, and Spears Creek Church Road at Wood Creek Farms Road. And we also have construction, per usual, in Richland County and in Lexington County. We have more coming up on the Postgame Show.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on. Jay and Jalen with you here on this Monday. Terry Ford is out. Coming up top of the hour, have the headlines of the day. And again, revisit some of our interview with Chris Clark, talking Carolina football, coming up around 5:15 as part of the Gamecock Notebook. AP Top 25 is out. Ohio State, the number one team in the country, 40 first-place votes. Oregon comes in at number 2. Georgia 3 without the benefit of a first-place vote. Notre Dame is 4th. They got 6 first-place votes. I'm not – all right. Whatever. Texas is 5th. No first-place votes. Reigning champion Indiana is 6th, and they got 8 first-place votes. So much like the coaches poll, little different, but much like the coaches poll, Indiana gets a decent amount of first-place votes, but it's not in the top 5. Miami got 1 first-place vote. They're 7th. Then A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma round out the top 10. LSU is 11th, Texas Tech 12, Bama 13, Southern Cal 14, along with BYU. They got the same number of points. Michigan 16th, then Washington, Penn State, SMU, Tennessee number 20, and the final 5, Utah, Iowa, Houston, Louisville, and Missouri. Kurt Cignetti made some news, and tell me if you're buying into this, Jalen.
Okay.
This is now, since Kurt Cignetti has arrived in Bloomington, he has canceled home and homes with Louisville, Virginia, and now Notre Dame. Now, I'm not taking from Indiana, okay? They lost to Notre Dame in their first playoff appearance, and we know what they did last year. That was incredibly special.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, as much as I want to see, well, I said it before, I want Power 4 schools to only play other Power 4 schools.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to have to get used to potentially having a 3, maybe even a 4-loss national champion. And that seems something like something that whether it's fans or administrators, something that people are just unwilling to do.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you know, if you have 3 losses in college football, to a lot of people, that means you're not very good. I don't know if that's fair anymore. But that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. So they've canceled series, again, with Louisville, Virginia, and Notre Dame.
Wow.
Since Kurt Cignetti's been there. Now, he's saying that his athletics director is doing this. But he said this to the Big Ten Network, that he'd love to play Notre Dame. Quote, they ought to come to our place twice, and we'll go up there once, since they're not in a conference. I'd love to play them. It would be a great in-state game. I guess there's a backstory to that. I don't quite know what it is, so it is what it is. And the Big Ten schedule is pretty darn tough, too.
Okay, first, why are you only playing them once and you're playing them twice at
Why should they? Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that look. I love the Indiana story. 16-0. Okay, I'm good with all that last year. You're still Indiana.
Yeah. You're still the defending.
Yeah, but you gotta. It's great. Go do it again. And then go do it again. You're not Ohio State. You're not Georgia. You're not Bama. You're not LSU. You're not Southern California. You're not even Penn State or Michigan.
Right.
Like, I love what you're doing, sir. But you don't get to puff out your chest and go, Notre Dame should come to me twice.
That's
and then I'll go to them once. You split it.
Yeah.
Or if you want to play them in the Dome in Indy.
Yeah, in Lucas Oil.
Or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'd rather them not do that, to be honest with you. I'd rather them do home and homes.
Yeah, I wrote that, yeah.
But And I'm not saying you're lowly Indiana, so you take what you can get. I do think they have been able to reset their bar in terms of what they want to do. But
then to say, too, that your schedule is tough, too.
Because they're not in a conference, they should come to you twice? That doesn't make sense. I don't know what that means. Honestly, I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
And I don't know what Coach Freeman could do to respond to that. Like, what can you say to that?
You don't. You let your athletics director, you let Pete Bavacqua handle that. If I'm Marcus Freeman and I'm asked that question, it's like, hey, we were going to play them twice.
Next question.
And they bailed on us. That's the answer. That's the answer, is we were set to play them in 27 and 28, and they bailed.
And
because they did. It was not mutual. Indiana called Notre Dame and said, we're out.
Wow.
And they did it to Louisville, and they did it to Virginia. And I remember last year at Media Days, I was thinking, this is not the mark of a program that believes in itself. If you can't, Notre Dame is a different animal, I understand. Notre Dame is not Virginia or Louisville. But quite honestly, in my humble opinion, sir, if you are that much of a believer in what you've built in Bloomington, Indiana, and you should be, then you know what? You need to schedule Virginia, and you need to beat Virginia. But and this is going to sound like I'm disparaging Virginia. I don't mean to, but hey, Kurt, it's Virginia.
Right. Or Louisville. I mean, they're ranked.
Yeah, but still, if you've built what you've built, then you need to believe that we can go play Louisville. You're like, we don't need to beat them to prove anything, is what they're trying to say. And he's not wrong, which actually kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, Ryan Day and Ohio State don't have to play a home-and-home with Texas to prove anything.
They could have easily canceled it.
Michigan doesn't have to play a home-and-home with Oklahoma to prove anything.
Right.
But they are.
Because it's good competition, and it's a good testing stick for both teams.
I'm disappointed in Southern California not playing Notre Dame.
Yes.
And it's because they couldn't agree on where to put it. Notre Dame wanted to play it where they've typically done it, which is late. And Southern California was like, we have a conference schedule. We need to play you early. I don't know why they couldn't meet somewhere
in the
2
middle.
or 3. I don't know. I don't know. And they won't, they're scheduled to play again, I think, starting in 2030. That's a long way for a great rivalry.
Yeah, it's almost 3.5 years.
But until the Big Ten mandates another power conference game, a non-con game, then this is what we're going to get. But it's almost like Kurt Signetti knows that what he's proposed right there is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And again,
it's unfair.
I know what you've done, Indiana. So I'm respectful for what because they've earned it. But at the same time, I don't understand what he means. So if somebody out there, by the way, can better explain to me why there should be a 2-for-1 with Notre Dame giving the 2 and taking the 1.
The YouTube chat saying that it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's Notre Dame. Again, go home and home. Or if you want to play 3 times, home, and play once in the Dome and make it in-state like that.
But for you to say 2-1,
because they're not in a conference
is crazy.
Again, that so what?
Right.
So
what if it was the other way around and it was Freeman saying that to your team? Kurt would have easily came out and said, "Oh, we're being disrespected." But no, you just won a national championship. I would challenge your team to see if you could play at least a little tougher schedule to see if you're worthy to defend your national championship. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think to Marcus Freeman, it is disrespectful to say that and not have a word to say anything back.
At their media days, he said the scheduling philosophy, he said it was, quote, it began before I was hired, but I did sign off on it upon being hired our first season. And then he added, we figured we would just adopt an SEC scheduling philosophy. Now, at the time that he said that last year, the SEC had the 8 games plus the 8+1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the SEC has 9+1.
+1.
And the reason the SEC did the 9+1, as in the way I'm looking at it, or again, you got 4 built-in in-state rivalries that are not in the conference, and you've got to keep those because I honestly, I hate to say this, I'm partially of the mind that if the Southeastern Conference didn't mandate a Power 4 game in the non-con, you might see Carolina, Clemson, Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Kentucky, Louisville go away. And of those 4, and they didn't, but remember, even Kentucky, who's a little wary, unlike the other 3, Kentucky said, we might have to look at this Louisville game. Now, for now, they've decided to keep it.
But it could potentially go.
But Kentucky was like, because Kentucky doesn't want losses. Now, again, you're not going to get that from Carolina, Georgia, and Florida.
No.
I think they'll continue to play that game no matter what. And this is always the time of year, or in a conversation, maybe that time of year, where I remind people, well, there's a law in South Carolina. There's not.
Then, too, like you said last week, that the playoff could potentially expand.
If it does, look, a lot this year from what people are saying is going to depend on how the selection committee views strength of schedule. Because last year, they were kind of all over the road.
Yep.
And in the end, I don't really know if they valued it the last 2 years the way they said they were going to. But this particular offseason, we were told they would. And yet, at media days, Greg Sankey said that when he and some of the ADs and others had some meetings with the CFP folks, long story short, they really didn't have a great conversation. Because they basically were told again, well, if you schedule a game, the more games you win, the better you're going to be assessed. So it doesn't really matter if you lose close to a good team or you beat the crap out of a bad team. You won one of them and you lost the other one.
Right.
And so you're not going to really get any benefit from scheduling a harder slate. To which the SEC was like, why?
Right.
And even Tony Petitti was like, well, until we get more guidance, because, one of the arguments was, well, the SEC plays 8, we play 9. Well, now
it's 9.
It's 9+1. And here's Indiana playing Howard, Western Kentucky, and North Texas in the non-con. And I can't remember, but I think Penn State has a high school team. So
why would they schedule Howard in the non-con? Okay.
Well, because they want 3 wins, man.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Let's see if Jalen has a little J or nay for me on the other side.
I'll come up with something.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
This is Elijah Campbell from 107.5 The Game and The Game Network. If you run a diner, bakery, coffee shop, burger joint, pizza spot, or that hidden gem everybody should know about, how would you like to get the word out about your business without spending a dime? Well, we got you. All you have to do is text your name, your business, and your phone number to 803-404-6100, and we'll be in touch. There is no catch. We know times are tough, but we would love to help you out and your business.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Reports say that rookie running back Jeremiah Love is dealing with a high ankle sprain after Thursday's preseason game against the Raiders. Love was on the field for 23 snaps, had 11 rushes for 58 yards, and caught 3 passes for 14 yards. Head coach Mike LaFleur explained the high workload for Love by saying, quote, "It's a rookie that hadn't played. Love is expected to miss the rest of the preseason, and the Cardinals are hoping he can be ready for Week 1 against the Chargers." I'm Adam Abdallah.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. Last week, Seattle was trading at 8%, meaning a $100 trade would pay out $1,174 if they take home the title. On Kalshi, as the probability changes, you adjust your position. Download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. Bonus credits do not expire. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
At Progressive, we know making a difference starts with making things happen. That's why we're partnering with organizations in your community to make change happen. By helping veterans get the reliable transportation they need, helping small businesses with everyday challenges, and providing aspiring homeowners with the educational resources to help them get into their first home. It's just another way we continue to innovate. Because you can't spell progressive without progress. Visit progressive.com/purpose to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used a trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube. Let's do some Jay or Nay. It's the Postgame Show on the Game Network.
All right, welcome back in. Final few minutes of our second hour. Top of the hour headlines coming your way at 5. Gamecock Notebook at 5:15. We'll revisit our interview with Chris Clark, get you caught up from Chris's perspective on some of the big news around Carolina football this weekend, including the injuries to the two Jadens at receiver, Jaden Gibson, Jaden Sellers. And we've got some interesting news in the drive around the SEC that we'll get to. All right, you ready to hit me with a couple of things?
Yeah, I got 3.
All right.
I got
well,
3.
Hell, you got to go over. Can you get to if you can get to the music or not?
Oh,
We can't do Jay or Nay without.
We can't. We got to get
without music. I'll get you to the screen here. We're doing this live. There you go. And nope, back. There you go. And then up, hit the yellow one that says match game. That's the best one. We'll do that one. That way I can have home field advantage. So there we go.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cool. First, Jay or Nay. At least 3 of the top 5 teams in the preseason poll will make the college football playoff.
At least 3
of them.
Of the 5. That's a J. Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas.
At least 3.
At least 3 will make it, yes. Ohio State will make it. Georgia will make it. And
no Oregon.
Well, I think Oregon will make it. I think Notre Dame will make it.
Texas?
Texas would be my outlier. I'm not saying they won't, because all 5 could.
Arch Manning could probably be the answer to that. So,
I mean, could all 5? If you said all 5, I'd probably still give you a J. It just would be a little less emphatic. But if you're giving me 3 of the 5, J.
Okay.
Yeah. But Ohio State, Georgia are going to make it.
Okay.
The others, I think Oregon's pretty loaded, man. Oregon's pretty loaded.
Number 2, the Dodgers losing 11 of 16 games in the month of August. Do you still see them as the World Series favorite during this cold streak?
Well, this is hard because this is where I let my subjectivity come in. But Jay,
okay,
I do. I just look. Dave Roberts knows how to manage his team. The Braves hit their skid, in June. The Dodgers have hit theirs. Everybody hits theirs.
The Red Sox, yeah. I mean,
the Sox of late, they hit theirs early.
Mm-hmm.
They skidded for 2 months.
Yep.
But now they're picking it up. The Yankees have had to weather the Aaron Judge storm. But and I think the Dodgers now have the 3rd best record in baseball. Or maybe they're tied with the Braves. The Brewers actually have the best record. God bless the Milwaukee Brewers. I just do not see them as a World Series winner. I just really don't. But I do think of the 3 best teams in the National League, and again, maybe I'm being a little subjective, and I saw the Braves lose 2 of 3 to the Yankees a couple weeks ago. I still think whoever wins the National League wins the World Series.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Cool.
But the Dodgers, again, everybody hits their skid, man.
Cool.
It's baseball.
So, the last one, the NFL. So, we have Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson, the quarterback battle.
Yeah.
Jay or nay, Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders as the starting quarterback?
So, are you asking me, so if I said nay, then it's somebody else, not those 2?
Okay, so I will put it like this. Do you see Deshaun Watson starting for the Cleveland Browns in Week 1, Jay or nay, over Shedeur Sanders?
Jay.
Okay.
I just think, because here's the thing. I really do believe that if there is any type, I don't know how tight this race is going to be, but if there is paper-thin separation between the 2, anything wider, it won't matter. But even if it's paper-thin separation, I personally believe that the owner, Jimmy Haslam, will tell the coaching staff, you're starting Deshaun Watson. Because I think he meddles. And I think he's like, we paid a lot of money for him, and we hadn't gotten anything out of it. And by golly, we're gonna get something out of it. Now that's my, since this is a Jay or nay segment, that's my opinion. I don't know how good Shedeur is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know that this is a great sign for the Cleveland Browns in any way, shape, or form anyway. You're going to finish 4th in your division.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I don't know who's going to win it this year. If Cincinnati can have even a modicum of a decent defense, I think as long as Burrow is healthy, they'll win it. But Pittsburgh has a new lease on life with Mike McCarthy, and Baltimore has Lamar. So I don't know, but it ain't gonna be Cleveland anyway.
I want Cincinnati to win it because there's been a lot of talk of them saying that it looks like the LSU 16 team or the LSU 19 team. Yes, excuse me.
Well, if they a couple years ago, if they had a defense, they'd have won the Super Bowl.
They would have won.
Because that offense was
amazing. I don't know, and then too, Joe Burrow's injury history.
But it is problematic.
Yes,
it is problematic. Yes. So, but. Maybe the question should be, Jay or nay, does it matter who quarterbacks Cleveland? And the answer is
no.
Headlines coming up.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Sponsored by SC Education Lottery. Did you know that since 2002, over $9.4 billion in lottery proceeds have been appropriated to benefit educational causes in South Carolina, like scholarships, school buses, and technology initiatives? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit sceducationlottery.com/educationwins for more information.
With approved credit. Christopher got a credit card before he understood credit. Now he's paying for those bad decisions from a few years ago by being denied when he applies to buy a new vehicle that he needs. JT at JT's Jeep Ram understands. JT has the power to say yes when others say no. So come see JT and let him help you repair your credit while driving the new ride you need. JT's Jeep Ram 378 Lexington or JT's Jeep Ram Dodge Land on Greystone. Make this the summer event.
Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game for AAA Heating and Air. Look, I know you're thinking about a lot of spring cleaning right now, but are you thinking about your generators? You need to be. Those things are vitally important when our power goes out. You want to make sure your generator is running great. At AAA Heating and Air, they're ready to help you. So call today or visit their website. Call AAAtoday.com and tell them Bill Gunner with 107.5 The Game sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Why are we called Gamecock Traditions? Because we've been a part of Gamecock life since 1984. For decades, our free beat stickers have been a part of game day, and we've given away more than 20 million of them. We also offer free football wall schedules, cash back on every purchase, and the opportunity to support Gamecock NIL when you shop. At Gamecock Traditions, we live Gamecock sports. We stock and restock what Gamecock fans want most. Shop in-store or online at GamecockTraditions.com. Gamecock Traditions, for Gamecocks, by Gamecocks. We're Gamecocks too.
Hate paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free. Just download the 107.5 The Game app. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Report, and we have a accident reported Clemson Road between Earth Road and Two Notch Road. Is still an accident there, so if you need to seek an alternative route, please do so immediately. We have another accident reported on Brookfield Road in front of Richland Northeast High School, Bush River Road, and at Seawright Road, Sparkleberry Lane at Valhalla, and Spears Creek Church Road, at Earth Road and Wood Creek Farms Road. We have long-term road construction in traffic in Richland County and in Lexington County. So if you need to seek an alternative route, please do it immediately. We have the last hour of the post-game show coming up with the Gamecock Notebook. Stay tuned. Stick around.
Checking out what's up in the world of sports.
This just in, breaking news is breaking out everywhere.
The 5 o'clock news on the postgame show.
If you're just joining us, I'm covering some breaking news. You know news is breaking because I'm telling you so, and I might touch my earpiece like this.
Sponsored by Integrated Media, Columbia's premier home theater and security experts for over 20 years. On the Game Network and on 107.5, the Game app.
It is 5 o'clock news time on this Monday. Welcome back in. It's also the final hour of the post-game show. Alongside Jalen Tart, I'm Jay Phillips. Terry Ford is away today, back with us tomorrow afternoon. We start with Gamecock football news. It's not good. Senior transfer wide receiver Jaden Gibson, who came in from Oklahoma, and sophomore wide receiver Jaden Sellers, the younger brother of quarterback Lenoris Sellers, are done for the season, according to a statement put out by Carolina football, each enduring what is described as season-ending lower body injuries in practice this past week. Gibson had 22 catches at Oklahoma, was injured for the last couple of seasons before he transferred from Norman to Columbia. The younger Sellers appeared in 7 games last year. 2 of them were starts in his first season, 22 catches for 357 yards, and had that big touchdown catch against Coastal. Said Coach Shane Beamer, quote, "I'm extremely disappointed for both of these young men. I know how hard each of them has worked over the spring and summer in getting ready for 2026 to help our team. I have full confidence they will both overcome the adversity they're facing, and we will help them in whatever way we can throughout the rehab process moving forward. So, again, we do not know the specifics at this time other than season-ending lower body injuries, but we wish those two the best. We got into a lot of that and the ramifications with our good friend Chris Clark of Gamecock Central, and that will actually lead off the Gamecock Notebook coming up in about 15 minutes. So some good stuff in there from Chris on a lot of things from the scrimmage, but most importantly on as what I've been calling kind of the ripple effect behind these injuries and exactly what it means, because they play two different positions. Gibson, tall, like Nick Harbor, 6'5", jump ball guy. Sellers vying for that starting spot out of one of the slot receiver positions with Mazio Bennett. So we'll talk to Chris Clark, or we did, and we'll have more from Chris coming up. Gamecock Notebook, I said, inside of 15 minutes. Meanwhile, more college football news for you. The AP Top 25 football poll is out. Ohio State is the #1 team in the country. I'd say overwhelming, but it's not. They had 1,672 points to Oregon's 1,597, but Ohio State was certainly the overwhelming favorite when it came to first-place votes, picking up 40 to the Ducks' 14. Georgia is in third, but did not get a first-place vote. Notre Dame in fourth. The Irish got 6 first-place votes. Texas is in fifth. No first-place votes. Indiana, the reigning champion, in sixth place, just like they were in the coaches' poll. They got 8 first-place votes, which means a lot of people still have Indiana farther down the line. Miami, 7th, with 1 first-place vote. And rounding out the top 10 are Texas A&M, Mississippi, and Oklahoma. LSU is number 11, followed by Texas Tech. Alabama outside the top 10 for the first time in, I believe, 16 years.
15
years. Thank you. I'm glad you did the math and not me. How much does that really matter to Alabama? Some, I think. Southern California and BYU tied in the 14th position. Michigan is 16, Washington 17, Penn State 18, SMU and Tennessee round out the top 20. And the final 5, Utah in 21st. Then it's Iowa, Houston, Louisville, and Missouri. Clemson just on the outside looking in behind the Mizzou Tigers. Clemson with 112 points to Mizzou's 117. First time you told me since 2011, right, Jalen?
Yes.
2011 that Clemson does not start the season inside the top 25. Florida was right behind the Tigers, then Boise State, Arizona, TCU, and South Carolina. So there you go. Gamecocks receiving votes, but not enough to put them in the top 25, pretty much in the same position they were in with the coaches poll. Again, it's a preseason poll. Go win some football games, and none of this will matter at the end of the season. The Heisman Trophy Trust announced a new website today called Heisman Hopefuls. It's a data, storytelling, and most importantly, fan voting platform aimed at what the Heisman calls expanding the conversation about the award. It'll feature player data, regularly updated EA Sports college football player ratings, and Jalen Tart. It will allow fans to place what is being called the first official vote for the Heisman Trophy. So the fan vote has been there for a while, but this will be a little more interactive. I think it'll still count the same as a ballot with a first, second, and third place. Said Jeff Price, who is now the CEO of the Heisman Trophy Trust, quote, "We surveyed college football fans, and they told us clearly they want more data on more players and more ways to engage with the Heisman Trophy throughout the season." They'll give data on pretty much every position. So they're maybe hoping almost that this becomes a, I don't want to say a non-quarterback award, but at least an award where perhaps more defenders or receivers or others can get a crack at this. I one ballot, I got to be honest with you, with up nearly 1,000, one ballot isn't going to make a
So the unanimous people that have the most votes for that one person will count as
so the fan vote will count as one ballot.
Wow.
Yeah, one ballot. I think there's 900 and something ballots.
That's crazy.
So, but says Mr. Price, every player who steps onto the field this fall begins the season as a Heisman hopeful with the chance to earn the award on the field of play. This platform, working hand in hand with schools, helps us shine a light on those players and bring their stories forward all season. Voters can weigh in daily on whoever they want, and in the top 3 will be the first official ballot that is cast in December.
Mm.
You going to participate?
Yes.
All right.
Are you?
No, I mean, no. I don't know if I probably can. But I'm a Heisman voter, so I don't know if I don't know if they'll let me. I wouldn't want to double dip.
No, I wouldn't want you to do that either.
It's hard enough, man. So no, I feel like if I'm fortunate enough that they've given me one of those 900 and something ballots, that I at least need to do it right.
Who's the preseason favorite?
I guess it's either Arch or Dante Moore or Jeremiah Smith.
I'm about to see.
I don't know who the betting favorite. I think the betting favorite is probably Arch, just because he's Arch. But I got a hunch. I don't know, man. I mean, Jeremiah Smith
is incredible.
Is he the best player in college football?
He's the best at his position.
Yeah, but I
arguably don't think so. He is.
I don't know.
He's not throwing the ball like Arch.
No.
And Arch is not catching the ball and running to the touchdown like Jeremiah.
No.
So
I don't know. A lot of people think that Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football. So we'll see. But I think C.J. Carr at Notre Dame has some love on this one.
Yeah, it says Notre Dame quarterback C.J. Carr and Texas quarterback Arch Manning lead the 2026 preseason Heisman odds.
Okay.
Setting the pace at,
Okay.
So.
Well, it's August, and as Terry and I talked the other day, man, winning the Heisman doesn't always mean you're going to win the Heisman, right?
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. All right. Continuing our integrated media headlines of the day, Live Golf did confirm today that its scheduled individual and team championship, which was set to be played later this month in Michigan, has been canceled. So you heard it right. The championship has been canceled.
Can't even host a trophy.
By concluding the season now, said Live Golf CEO Scott O'Neill, we can put our full resources behind what comes next and maintain the operational rigor this transition demands. We are reimagining Live Golf as a fundamentally new league owned by the players and anchored in a sustainable business model with an evolved fan experience built for the markets where the game is growing fastest across the globe and the support of world-class partners. All right.
Wow.
They're probably going to file for bankruptcy. John,
I was just going to ask, I was like, do you see that lasting?
No.
Okay.
No. Look, it's a gimmick. And after a while, gimmicks run their course, man.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick. It's not, some fans like it. I saw something the other day, basically, and this is just television, so this doesn't tell the whole story. But basically, just for the long and short of it, more people watch the PGA Tour in a month than have watched the Live Tour in 2 years. Now, Live's been around longer than that, but if you just take the number, it takes Live 2 years
to make up
to do the same viewership that the PGA Tour gets in a month. And it's actually even, it's maybe the gap might be a little, that kind of nutshells it.
I mean, PGA's marketing is really good. They got great people to market.
And they have the,
and the where they go. I mean,
Bryson
DeChambeau.
He's like a pop star that doesn't have a second hit.
So a one-hit pony.
I mean, he's maybe we'll call it. He's got maybe he doesn't have a third hit. He won't be a one-hit wonder, but even after a while, like, okay, that's a good album. You had 2 hits on it. Where's your second album?
With more. And then he's like, and then you drop the second album and you don't have any great hits on it.
And next thing you know, he's playing at the mall.
Or he's playing in front of the arena trying with the bucket in front of him. So, I mean.
It's just not, and he'll be on YouTube hitting shots, he's going to be like Dude Perfect. So, anyway, Live Golf canceling their championship. Speaking of championships, PGA's is nearly here. Scotty Scheffler crushed it in Memphis this weekend at the FedEx St. Jude with an 8-shot win over Siwoo Kim. 17 under par was Scotty Scheffler. His second win of the season, earned himself $3.6 million. He remains in first place Top 50 move on to the BMW Championship. Top 30 will play at the Tour Championship in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. And finally, speaking of Atlanta, the Braves salvaged their series to some degree. They dropped 2 at home to the Diamondbacks, and Saturday got ugly, 10-3, the final score on Saturday. Braves got blanked Friday night, 2-0, but they won 5-3 yesterday, and Matt Olson hit a mammoth home run to give the Braves the go-ahead runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Atlanta has a 7.5-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. Braves will be in the Twin Cities tonight, taking on Minnesota. Martin Perez goes for Atlanta. He's 8-6 with a 2.96. And Bailey Ober goes for Minnesota, 7-4 with a 4.64. First pitch, 7:40 tonight.
They've been playing some really, really good baseball as of lately.
The Braves?
Yes.
Yes, they've been playing much better.
So
they have.
I'm glad that they were able to turn it around and build some momentum going into September and with
Me too,
playoffs.
Sir.
Yes.
Me too. That's our integrated media headlines of the day. We'll come back on the other side with a Gamecock notebook. Chris Clark joined us earlier. We'll get into the injuries to the 2 Gamecock receivers this weekend and see what that means moving forward. Some other position group battles in there as well. Chris Clark on the other side. You're listening to the Postgame Show.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
The Game Summer Golf Classic is coming Friday, August 28th at Charwood Golf Club in the heart of Pine Ridge. Co-hosted by the Lexington County Gamecock Club. 9:30 a.m. shotgun start. The world-famous onion sausage for breakfast. And Little Pig supplies lunch. The morning libations bar from Saki's Wine and Spirits. The Golf Gun is back with proceeds going to Camp Discovery. Also, lots of free stuff. And you can win Gamecocks football tickets. $440 a foursome. Call Charwood at 803-755-2000 and hit prompt number 2. Come hang out with us at the Game Summer Golf Event on Friday, August 28th. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Sponsored by Discover. With the Discover Cashback Card, it's payback time when you earn cash back on everyday purchases. Activate and earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter on up to $1,500 in purchases. It pays to Discover. See discover.com/5 for details.
Powered by Integrated Media, the Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia, the Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
With approved credit, Hannah had just about given up. She desperately needed an SUV for her and her kids, but she had been embarrassed more than once trying to buy a vehicle when her credit was denied. Then her dad gave her some great advice. Go see JT at JT's Jeep Ram. JT can get just about anyone approved. Now Hannah and her kids are safe and happy in that new SUV. Don't give up. Come see JT at JT's Jeep Ram, 378 Lexington, or JT's Jeep Ram Dodgeland on Greystone. Make this the summer event.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
It's the Hendrick Chevrolet Countdown to Kickoff. 19 days away.
Hendrick.
The most trusted name in automotive is right here in Columbia. Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. Buy now and make no payments for 3 months. Shop the nation's #1 dealer group, Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Elijah Campbell here with 107.5 The Game to tell you that Back to School 2026 is here. New backpacks, new schedules, new routines. Now give your home a fresh start with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of insanely clean carpets plus a free hallway for just $109. Plus, save $75 on professional air duct cleaning to help everyone breathe a little easier this school year. Book today at ZeroResColumbia.com. Zerorez. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast.
These players are battered and exhausted, but you don't hurt like this if you don't care about this team, about this country, about this game.
I think you can feel the intensity. The goals, the energy, wow, look at us.
Here in the U.S., I have got some news for you. There's so much more to come. My name is Megan Klingberg, and we're just getting started.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast, presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
At Herndon Chevrolet, there's no need to wait a week for service. Our full team of technicians is ready to get your vehicle checked the same day. From oil changes to major repairs, we're here to keep you moving with expert care you can count on every time. Fast appointments, trusted repairs, convenient service, and a friendly team ready to help you. Only at Herndon Chevrolet.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV, sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass, shepherdsglass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia, The Game TV, sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube. It's time to open the Gamecock Notebook on the Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network.
All right, welcome back in. Terry is away today. Jalen Tart hanging out with me here on this Monday afternoon. Earlier today, we talked to our good friend Chris Clark at Gamecock Central about the injuries to Jaden Gibson and Jaden Sellers, the Gamecock wide receivers, that and more from his scrimmage report. But we started off here. This is Chris's answer on just comparing these two injuries and situations and what that means moving forward.
Yeah, I think, and not to diminish, any season-ending injury, you hate it for those guys. I mean, Jaden Gibson is now on his, I think third major injury, and hate it for Jaden Sellers too. Both those guys, hate it for the team and for those guys individually. Never want to see it. I do think there's levels to all injuries in terms of like once you get past, hey, hate it for those guys. Like what is the impact, right? And so Jaden Sellers is, I think, the starting point because this is a kid who came in a pretty heralded 2025 recruiting class and was one of the better guys out there, maybe the best, kind of really came on the back half of last year, made plays, was locked in a battle with Mazio Bennett to be the starting slot receiver, and regardless of who would have ended up winning that job, quote unquote, to be the first guy out there against Kent State, but those guys were going to play a lot, and so that job probably, by default becomes Mazio's now, but Jaden Sellers is going to play a lot. He's got a great, no surprise, got a great chemistry and rapport with his brother, Lenore Sellers, of course, and, is someone who I think has gotten better, had a really good, off season from, really the whole year from winter workouts up until he got injured, had a really nice year, and someone the staff was excited about. So when you're losing a guy who's good enough to start for you and at worst play a bunch of snaps for you and make plays, that's tough. Jaden Gibson was someone who, hasn't played football in a game since 2023. Had a really good freshman year for Oklahoma, caught 5 touchdowns as a true freshman that year. A little bit more of a question mark, or I think maybe the best way to put it's a wild card. He was one of a bunch of guys who were kind of fighting in the preseason to get into that rotation. So you do have some, I think you would say, potential depth there because you've got a lot of guys who athletically are very talented. You've got some guys who have done it, whether here at South Carolina or at other places, who I think have all elevated their game. It's a very competitive room. You're down a couple guys now, including a guy who's good enough to be your starter or kind of a co-starter, guy that plays a lot. So it's a tough blow. But, at the same time, 2 of the spots opposite Nick Harbor have been up for grabs, and so it just gives some of those other guys an opportunity to go out and try to win those jobs and get snaps.
On Gibson, real quick, because I think you laid it out pretty good for us in terms of what Jaden Sellers could provide. But with Gibson, there's a jump ball guy as tall as Nick Harbor. And Carolina's got some guys with a little bit of size, but nobody like that. How big a deal from that perspective do you see his injury, or at least the competition for somebody who can go up and get it like that?
Yeah, I mean, you can go back and look at what he did that freshman year at Oklahoma, and it's had a lot that's happened since then, especially with injuries, where, again, it's question mark. You know, is he going to be fully healthy and back on the field? Of course, no, unfortunately, with a new injury, but he does have that type of ability. Like, I was talking to somebody this morning and who was kind of recalling, hey, I remember Jaden Gibson as a big-time recruit. Carolina recruited him out of high school, and he has that type of ability. He just hasn't been all put together for various reasons for him. So it was kind of unclear, Jay, like, what would his role be? Like, would he play significant snaps this year? I think that was still to be determined, you know, if he had been able to go through camp healthy. Now, could he have been, you know, a situational guy? You know, maybe so. You know, at worst, is he a situational guy? Maybe. So, yeah, I mean, Carolina has, I think they have got a bunch of different skill sets there at receiver, and he certainly would have given them a different look. At the same time, I think, you know, the staff is looking for, you know, who's most consistent out there, regardless of body type, skill set. Like, we want guys on the field that we can trust, and whether or not he would have been those guys, or, you know, you could put a few other guys in that category from that room, kind of remains to be seen. And you would have loved to get through preseason camp having a full slate for competition and just let the chips fall, but that's not to be.
Gamecock Central's Chris Clark with us here. Carolina had their first scrimmage of August camp on Saturday night. Another one coming up this weekend. All right, let's put for a minute, just so you can answer this question for me more easily for me. Jaden Sellers, if he were number one, Mazio Bennett number two. Sellers out, Bennett moves up. Who moves in behind Bennett, assuming for now that's what a depth chart would look like?
Yeah, and I think one thing, Jay, is, like, depending on the day, I mean, that's how close some of these races have been. Some days, if you ask me, hey, would Jaden have been the starter in the slot, I'd say yes. If you'd asked me recently, there have been days where I'd say, actually, I think it's going to be Mazio Bennett, and Jaden's going to play a lot, you know. But if that was your version, right, or just say Mazio's one and Sellers was two, you know, who's three? Who's that next guy? I think, look at Sequel Patterson, you know, very intriguing player. First of all, reclassed. So he's a year younger than he should be. And if he sees the field, I'm sure the broadcasts will remind us of that 700 times, that he should still be in high school. But he did reclass.
Ryan Williams, anybody?
Ryan, Jake Bentley, you know?
Yeah.
If Jordan Gidron would have played more last year, I mean, they would have been able to say this guy literally is a year and a half young because he enrolled early and graduated high school early. But Patterson, you know, first of all, he reclassed. Second of all, he's one of only a few guys that did not go through spring ball. So no winter workout program, no spring ball. The interesting thing about Sequel is even in that receiver room with a lot of competition and, frankly, guys that have just been around longer, even, you know, the redshirt freshmen and sophomores and guys that kind of were around this program, he still created some buzz for himself in summer workouts, player-run practices, and early in spring ball because he's not the biggest guy, but he's a three-sport guy in high school, and is a really good athlete, just like catches the ball naturally, can run, can move, he's quick, he's smooth. Like, he checks a lot of those boxes. And so I think that's immediately where your mind goes, like, who could this – it sounds terrible to say who could this benefit, but, you know, if you're looking for, hey, we got to get another guy with a similar skill set, kind of a slot-type skill set ready, well, Sequel Patterson's one to look out for. I think the question is, okay, he did a really good job before the pads came on. Will that translate? You know, the pads went on Friday, first scrimmage Saturday. Haven't heard as much about him one way or another. That's not a negative. Since that, you know, do we hear more about him? Because he's probably going to get more practice opportunities, probably going to draw a stronger look. So he's probably the first one where my mind would go. You also have, I mean, you got a guy like Nitro Tuggle who's been working more outside, but he also has, you know, he's got slot-like capabilities. So I think you have some potential versatility there. But Sequel Patterson is one to monitor.
Let's talk about the two big names that, while not season-ending, have certainly, you know, raised eyebrows, and that's Jacarius Peak at tackle and obviously Dylan Stewart. not going through the motions just yet. Saw some B-roll footage of Jacarius, pretty big knee brace still over there, Chris, which makes a lot of sense. But what are you hearing about their timeline? And I know Shane said they're on schedule, but like a lot of fans are like, well, on schedule for what? And did they need to be in football shape? So what is that looking like?
Yeah, it's almost the unanswerable question, because I think a lot of people have asked just what you did, Jay. If they're on schedule, what is the target? And I think in some ways it's a moving target, right? Like when people heard about Peak's injury, it was immediately, okay, when can he be back? And you kind of go, well, he could be back by this date. It could be later. It could be earlier. A lot of it depends on recovery. For Dylan Stewart, it depends on recovery. And I think one reason we haven't gotten clarity, particularly with Stewart, is because, you still have to kind of wait and see, all right, let's say hypothetically, if he's got to continue checking in with the doctor. Shane Beamer's mentioned doctor's appointments for those guys and being monitored and doing rehab and doing training, doing what they can, with the team while they're still recovering. At some point they're going to say, okay, we think you can be cleared for this date, or you can be cleared for a little bit more and a little bit more. And some of that can be a moving target. So I know everybody wants to know, are they playing against Kent State? Are they limited versus Kent State? Are they going to be held out until Mississippi State? And frankly, we just don't know. There might be some more clarity over the next couple weeks. Maybe we hear, hey, Peaks, got his helmet and pads on. Hey, Stewart's back out there running around a little bit with a blue jersey. And that neither of those have happened yet. But I want an answer just as much as anyone else. But I think we just don't have the answer yet. I don't think it's a situation where they know 100%, all right, here's the exact plan. Here's exactly what's going to happen. And we're just not telling anybody. Of course, they're not giving all the information publicly. But I think there's just kind of a wait and see as they continue to recover. I do think the one thing I'll dispel is this notion that seemed a little bit of fringe. Well, Dylan Stewart's not playing this year. Okay, well, that's from the same school of Dylan's going to transfer before he even gets to South Carolina. He's going to transfer every offseason he's been here. He was sandbagging last year, which is obviously not true, as we know now. The plan is for these guys to play safely, when they can.
All right, good stuff from Chris Clark. We have one more question we'll get to on the other side as part of the drive around the SEC. We got a running backs question in after the scrimmage on Saturday, so we'll do that for you. Plus, in the drive around, Stuart Mandel of The Athletic has predicted his order of finish in the SEC, and a very successful SEC coach has just extended his contract. We'll tell you who. Part of the drive around the SEC next.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network, Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
The Game phone lines at 803-404-6100. Sponsored by AAA Heating and Air. Now offering 12-month payment plans on all HVAC or electrical repairs with no credit check. Online at callAAAtoday.com.
I'll tell you even more about AAA Heating and Air because I love them. They do work at my house, and my kids love them. That's the biggest thing. My wife is happy. That's an even bigger thing than the kids. I'm just some guy when it's all said and done, right? But make sure your family is happy and comfortable when you call AAA Heating and Air. You'll get that level of comfort, and you'll get years of peace of mind because you get a 15-year parts and labor guarantee when you get a brand new system from AAA. And chances are very good that if you call AAA, say tomorrow, then by Wednesday, they'll be installing a brand new system at your house. 803-677-1500. Always a great time to call. $1,500 system buyback rebate. Again, the 15-year parts and labor guarantee, and Roy and Dana Finley guarantee that they can get you financed. Love what they've done at my house. Again, my family loves them. So do a lot of friends and neighbors that have done it. Like my good friend Bill Gunner, you'll love him too. 803-677-1500 AAA Heating and Air.
Powered by Integrated Media, the Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia, the Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Call 866-243-4623 for details. Please listen very closely. From now until the end of the month, JT is slashing new Jeeps $10,000. $10,000 off the Jeep of your dreams. It gets better. Now save $10,000 to $20,000 off Rams. $10,000 to $20,000 off Rams is unbelievable, but true. Credit concerns? JT is the wizard of getting you approved. Oh, and how about $5,000 more for your trade? JT's Jeep Ram 378 Lexington and JT's Jeep Ram Dodgeland on Greystone. Make this the summer event.
Want to unlock the power of athlete marketing to grow your business? Garnet Trust has recently launched a business membership program, making it easier than ever for your business to work directly with a USC student athlete. Visit garnettrust.com today or call 803-250-1765 to see your business move.
Let me tell you, the Gunner family, myself, Ansley, Austin, there's no better time than sitting out back at Lake Murray and grilling up great steaks. You need to stop by Old Timey Meat Market today, one of the 3 locations, South Congaree, St. Andrews Road in Irma, or the Lexington store, and maybe you find a steak or chicken. Maybe you find pork. Old Timey Meat Market's got you taken care of. So visit one of the 3 stores today and tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Old Timey Meat Market. Quality selection, a cut above the rest.
Hey, this is Terry Ford. Got a little story time for you. If you're a business or property owner and you're needing to deter any unwanted cars from parking in your parking lots, definitely call Schroeder's Towing. They'll provide signage for your business completely free of charge. Anytime a vehicle is parked in your lot that shouldn't be, Schroeder's Towing will be there to make sure your lot stays open for your employees, customers, and tenants. Trust me, I know firsthand what happens when you ignore Schroeder's Towing signage. Just go online at schroederstowing.net.
Just dial pound 250 and use the keyword tow truck.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
Hate paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free. Just download the 107.5 The Game app. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot. Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Report. We have an accident report on Beltline at Covenant Road and Python Road at Cruise Road, Dutch Fork Road at Broad River Road, and Fair Road at Beckman Road Drive, and Two Notch Road at Seas Hill Drive. We have long-term road construction all over Richland County and Lexington County, so if you need to seek an alternative route, please do so immediately. Right now, the temperature is pretty hot, 98 degrees right now, with the low being 77 tonight, and the temperature tomorrow going to be relatively hot again at 96 degrees. We have more coming up on the postgame show with Jalen Tart and Jake Phillips next.
It's time for our drive around the SEC on the postgame show.
Georgia on the mountaintop. Demons be gone, and the drought is over. National champions.
On the Game Network and on 107.5 The Game app.
It is Drive Around the SEC time on this Monday afternoon. Welcome back in. Jay and Jalen with you. Terry back on tomorrow's program. Reminder again, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Shane Beamer's weekly press conference live. We'll have that for you during the halftime show, and Terry and I will have a recap of some of the things that Shane has to say throughout the program tomorrow afternoon. Stuart Mandel of The Athletic has put out his predicted order of finish in the Southeastern Conference. He's got Texas winning the league, beating Oklahoma in the SEC championship game. But he has Georgia also going 7-2 in the league, tied with Oklahoma, to Texas's 8-1. He doesn't give game-by-game breakdown, so I don't know who he has Texas losing to. It won't be Georgia this year in the regular season because they don't play.
But interesting
but
to
Texas does have a Georgia problem.
Right, but interesting for Georgia to be predicted to have 2 losses in the SEC.
Yeah. I mean, they got it. They got Bama. They got Mississippi.
Yeah.
I think they got Oklahoma.
No LSU. Unfortunately.
Got to come to Columbia, although as it stands right now, Georgia has an 80% chance of winning the game here.
On a senior day.
Yeah, I wonder if Shane's going to do what? Do you see that Ohio, real quick, SEC, do you see Ohio State is going to move senior day to their opener?
No. Oh, wait. I did see that this morning. I saw that this morning, and I was like, that's unusual. Like, why would you do that?
Well, he said, Ryan Day said, take the pressure off. There's enough pressure on Michigan week.
You don't mind
I don't mind that. That's not a bad. In fact, I might tell Shane, hey, honor the seniors before Towson.
Yeah, or Kent State.
Well, either one, but I mean, just do it
before SEC play Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do it on Mississippi State, and then
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I'm not even going to finish the rest of that. But
so Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, LSU, and he has those 4 going to the playoff. Then he's got Alabama and Florida going 6-3. And here's where I'm going to agree with him. And people are going to these two fan bases would probably be somewhat apoplectic. He's got Mississippi and Texas A&M both going 5-4. I kind of do too, man. I just think they fall back to earth. I love what Trinidad Chambliss is doing, but I think last year's Mississippi team had a whole lot of things going for it, including Lane Kiffin. And I just don't know if they have that right now. I saw somebody today say, well, if they have Joe Judge, they'll be fine at calling plays. I'm like, all right, if that's what you want to believe. But and maybe. Look, I love Trinidad. I do. But I'm just not sure Mississippi is ready.
It's a different coach than Lane.
I'm just not sure. And A&M, 5-4 in the league, 8-4 overall. Terry and I talked about this for years, man. And you don't take my word for it.
Go ahead.
Let the facts point you in the direction. Texas A&M goes 8-4 most years. This is who they
traditional.
are. It's who they are.
Always been that way.
I mean, last year was the outlier. Last year was not the norm. Last year was the outlier for them to win more than 8 games. That they don't typically do better than that.
Elko had a big play in that in terms of his coaching, in terms of,
and I like what he's doing too.
Yeah,
but again, it's probably now. Look, if they do better than that, okay, cool, great, more power to you. But using a lot of history as a guide, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Missouri next at 5-4 in the conference, 8-4 overall. Tennessee and Carolina both going 4-5 in the league, 7-5 overall. Vandy 3-6 in conference, but 6-6 overall and getting back to a bowl game.
Okay,
that'd be good for Vandy because these people that are saying Vandy might go 3-6, 4, or
after what they did,
or should be 3-9 or 4-8. I'm like, I don't know.
After coming off of a Cinderella year, I mean, who can't say that Clark Lee can coach up?
It's a big year for Clark Lee.
Yeah,
it's a big year for Clark Lee without Pavia.
Because now it's like all eyes are on you now to kind of like develop your team.
Auburn, he also has, Stuart Mandel has going 3-6, 6-6 in the league. Kentucky 2-7, 4-8. State, he's got 1-8 and 3-9 overall. And Arkansas, man, winless in the league, and just 2-10.
I'll give Stubblefield 3 years to turn it around.
Got to go recruiting. I would say, man, you got to.
That's what I'm saying. The first year in that particular environment, because Arkansas is not known as a football school. They're known as for basketball and softball, technically.
And track and baseball.
And
they've had their football moments, but they've got to go like they've never done before and hit Houston and San Antonio and Dallas.
That's difficult.
And bring some of those kids.
Yeah.
I mean, and listen, between those 3 cities I just mentioned, you don't need but 10 or 12 a year.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have, and they don't have to be the elite of those areas, because those areas are football mad and they are huge.
Now, Kentucky is interesting because I like the coach. I just don't know what he has to work with and what we're going to be able to see from Kentucky.
That's very fair. Of South Carolina, by the way, he made 10 predictions, did Stuart Mandel. And of South Carolina, he said Lenora Sellers rebounds. The first-round hype last offseason proved premature as Sellers regressed, thanks in part to an offensive line that allowed 43 sacks and a misfit OC hire in Mike Shula. But Shane Beamer upgraded his staff with OC Kendall Briles and O-line coach Randy Clements. So Stuart Mandel a little higher on Lenoris this season. Real quick, Arkansas baseball. Speaking of Arkansas, way to go, Jalen. Segue without meaning to, has inked Dave Van Horn to a new deal through 2031. It replaces a 10-year deal that he signed in 2021. Will increase his pay to $2.1 million per year, with bonuses for winning the College World Series and for fulfilling the length of his contract. The 2027 season will be his 25th season at Arkansas and his 39th overall as a head coach.
That's a long time.
That is a long time, man. So congrats, Coach. 1,345 wins, 974 of them with the Hogs. Finally, we'll get back to some Gamecocks here. Chris Clark was joining us earlier on the program. We talked about some things coming out of the scrimmage. And this last one, just a quick minute or two here from Chris. We asked him about the running back situation and what we might have learned on Saturday.
Heard really good things about Christian Clark. He's had I think a big preseason. I mean, all the guys there, again, depending on the day, you'll hear, hey, Jawan Howell had a good day today. Don't sleep on Jabri Coleman. Very competitive room. Matt Fuller, I think, is still kind of running at the lead of the pack. He's been in a blue jersey, but he's fine, I think. Clark has picked up a lot of buzz as well. So they don't have a guy returning who's a 1,000-yard rusher, but they seem to feel pretty good about that room so far.
So there you go. Again, not a whole lot learned at this point in time. Another scrimmage coming up this weekend. But again, the big stories of the weekend, unfortunate news, Jaden Gibson and Jaden Sellers, two Carolina wide receivers, done for the year before it ever begins with what were called lower body injuries. We wish those two young men all the best. That's the drive around the SEC for this Monday. We'll come back with a little Jay versus the internet and one more look at the brand new AP Top 25. You're listening to the Postgame Show.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
Hey, this is Preston here from 107.5 The Game and The Game Network. If you run a diner, bakery, coffee shop, burger joint, pizza spot, or that hidden gem that everybody should know about, how would you like to get the word out about your business without spending a dime? Well, we got you. All you have to do is text your name, your business, your phone number to 803-404-6100, and we'll be in touch. There is no catch. Times are tough, but we're here to help you and your business.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. 14-year NFL vet and two-time Super Bowl champion Von Miller is signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Miller had 9 sacks and 15 quarterback hits last year with the Commanders. In other pass rusher news, Aaron Donald had another workout at the Rams facility over the weekend. Head coach Sean McVay said he would not put any deadline on whether Donald would need to sign with the team. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Hey, it's Tyler Reddick
and Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing.
On the track, every second counts.
And off the track, the same rules apply. Just fewer pit stops.
That's why we're spinning into Chumba Casino.
From social live casino to slot masters, the action's fast, fun, and totally free.
Rack up points, climb the leaderboard, and take home bragging rights.
Play anytime, anywhere. No downloads needed.
Join the race at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I think music is a kind of magic. As a therapist, I have seen what music can do. It gives you insight into kind of what's going on in their head and their life and their world. Because of my lottery-funded life scholarship, I was able to go to school and turn my passion for music into a career that helps others. And that is pretty magical, too.
Better support means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor, call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Mount Valley Foundation Services is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
Oh no, I dropped my lip balm in the water. I can't think of anything worse than the looming threat of potentially having chapped lips. It was ginger vanilla, too, my favorite flavor.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube. And now, Jay versus the Internet. It's the Postgame Show on the Game Network.
All right, welcome back in. Jay and Jalen with you here. Jalen's got a little Jay versus the Internet in just a second. One more look for those of you maybe just getting in the car after work at the brand new AP Top 25. Whatever preseason polls are worth to you, they're out there. Ohio State #1, Oregon 2, Georgia 3. And again, Georgia got no first place votes. So a solid voting line for the Bulldogs. They're at probably 3, 4, and 5 across the country. Notre Dame 4th. And Texas is 5th. Interestingly, the two SEC schools in the top 5, Georgia and Texas, did not get a first place vote. Indiana is 6th, Miami 7, A&M 8, Ole Miss 9, Oklahoma is 10, LSU 11, Texas Tech 12, Bama 13. And would you tell me 18 years? 18 years since they were
15.
Okay, since they've been in the top 10?
Yep, 15. 2011.
And that was Clemson, I thought.
Yes, Clemson.
Yeah.
Who? Wait, who?
Bama, what's Bama? 08?
I can ask.
No, I think that was right.
In the top 10?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I think it was 08. Southern Cal and BYU tied at 14th. Michigan 16, Washington 17, Penn State 18, SMU and Tennessee round out the top 20. And then it's Utah, Iowa, Houston, Louisville, and Missouri at number 25. There you go. AP top 25. And
yeah, the first time was 08.
So they have not. So this is the first time since 08 that Alabama is not in the preseason top 10.
Yes. All right. I wonder if they won the national championship there. I can look.
08. No, wasn't that Florida?
Tim Tebow? I don't know.
I want to say it was Florida, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that.
I'm not. Yeah, we don't have time, but let's just get to the millionaire music.
All right, let's one more real quick here. Taylor hits us on Twitter and says of Live Golf, I always thought. Let's see, hold on. I'm starting to believe Live was always a strategy to force the PGA to sell to the PIF, the Public Investment Fund.
They did the Dikembe Mutombo. No, not today.
I think that was probably true, Taylor, at some point, or at least that was part of it all. Remember, they tried to talk about a merger, and then that fell through. But
then I remember when all the PGA Tour golfers were leaving, and then they went to Live for the money, and then
he didn't hear. Live Tour announced today that it is canceling its season-ending championship event It just says Michigan. I'm assuming that's somewhere in the greater Detroit area. But they are canceling the event. And apparently they owe a lot of people a lot of money, not just their golfers. Apparently they owe a lot of their vendors a lot of money. But they're going to try to come back. I just don't know why. I don't.
Just pull the plug.
Yeah, it's done, man.
It's time.
It's done. But
you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool.
There you go. And thank you, Taylor, for hitting me on Twitter. Appreciate that. All right.
All right. So we got some MLB games tonight. Well, one game is already done. The Cardinals defeated the Reds 2-1.
Give me the Cardinals.
Cool. Well, they won. So the Rays, who are playing really, really good baseball right now, they're going to host the Orioles at 6:05 in the next 10 minutes.
All right.
Tampa Bay minus 161. I'm going with the Rays. I mean, they're the top of their division.
And I believe, do they have the best record in baseball now? No, second best.
Yeah, because the Brewers are 77-48, which they just come out of nowhere. Beating teams.
The Rays are the only team other than the only team in the American League, and the only other team in baseball to have a winning percentage above 600. Braves and Dodgers in the 590s. Yeah, give me the Rays.
Okay, cool. Next, the Diamondbacks at the Red Sox. Red Sox did have a nice, impressive 2-month catching fire. I mean, people are calling it the craziest turnaround in MLB season history. But the Diamondbacks, they're good too.
The Diamondbacks had a nice weekend in Atlanta. I mean, they won 2. They scored 10 runs on Saturday. Scored 3 runs yesterday, including getting one off Raisel Iglesias in the 9th inning, but it wasn't enough. And they're solid. I mean, the Diamondbacks are only 1 game out of the National League wild card right now. So they're very much in the playoff race. Boston is pretty comfortable in the wild card slot at this point with the way they've been playing. But in Fenway,
I'm going with the Red Sox.
I'll take the Sox.
Yep. I mean, to have 2 double-digit win streaks in the same season is impressive.
It is.
So, yeah.
But it also, to only be 8 games over, also means you really stinking it up for a while.
Yep.
But they've cooled a little bit too.
Yeah.
The Sox have only won 3 of 10.
Yeah.
So they're a little cool.
Next, the Braves at the Twins. Who you got?
You don't have to ask.
Then we're gonna go to the next one. Then. All right.
Well, I mean, I'll take the Braves. I always have the Braves. I just can't. I always have the Braves.
Now, do you have them going far in the postseason if the postseason starts right now?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that means you're okay.
Braves the Braves can score runs. The Braves have a very good bullpen. I do worry about the starters. But I'll reiterate, the Braves have a very good bullpen. And of late, Bryce Elder has been good. Martin Perez has been good. Sale has been Sale. Grant Holmes has had a nice couple of starts. So, yeah, I like the Braves' opportunity. I do.
Trying to find one more game.
But again, I'm also a very subjective Braves fan, so.
Look.
But I didn't like the Braves. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The Braves, I don't think. Look, the Braves played some really good baseball early. But
really
the way people are talking about the Braves, even some of their own fans, you would think the Braves are scuffling to just even sniff the postseason. The Braves have the second best record in baseball, third best record in baseball. And the second best record in the National League. I mean, the Braves are really good, man. They're really good.
Do you think they have a chance to match up with the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, if you forced me, I would tell you the Dodgers would have an edge.
Okay.
I would, but I think it's a slight. It isn't like I think, oh my God, the Braves are going to get swept 4-0 and not even be able to keep up. Like, no.
So you think in a legitimate state? I personally,
Braves are good, man. Braves are good. Dodgers are good. Braves are good. The Brewers are good. Nobody else is like those four, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
go Braves. Good stuff, sir.
Thank you.
Great work. Thanks to Chris Clark for joining us. Terry back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. Scott is next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Sponsored by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
Looking for a truck dealership that treats you like family? Come to Herndon Chevrolet, your truck headquarters, proudly serving Lexington and the Midlands for over 50 years. Whether you're after a brand new Silverado, a tough pre-owned truck, or expert service, you'll find it all right here with a huge selection and the best truck deals around. There's no better place to shop. Visit HerndonChevy.com or stop by today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Grilling season is here. There's no better time than sitting out back at Lake Murray and grilling up great steaks on a Friday night. You need to stop by Old Timey Meat Market today, one of the 3 locations, South Congaree, St. Andrews Road in Irma, or the Lexington store, and maybe you find a steak or chicken, pork or fish. Old Timey Meat Market's got you taken care of. So visit one of the 3 stores today and tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Old Timey Meat Market, quality selection, a cut above the rest.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Report. We have an accident reported on I-20 eastbound at Clemson Road at exit 80. And another accident reported on North Main Street at Columbia College Drive. We also have long-term road construction in Richland and Lexington County. Right now, the temperature is still 98 degrees. We have a chance of rain coming in on Friday. Now, tomorrow's weather, it's going to be hot once again. It's going to be 96 degrees with a low of 79 degrees. That'll do it for this edition of the Postgame Show. I'm Zane Letarte, along with Jake Phillips. Be safe and be kind.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. Connecting Carolinas with Scott Hamilton on the Game Network, the 107.5 The Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
No word yet on the Protect College Sports Act, that piece of legislation that is now in the hands of senators. We're waiting to see if they're going to get a vote. No word, though, this week. But then again, we thought this thing was dead 6 days ago. And it's almost too quiet. When things are this quiet, that's usually when we get a big piece of news. How important is this thing? If it comes to life, what are the pros, what are the cons? And maybe not big picture as far as conference realignment or TV revenue or salary cap and all that, but how important is it? How big is it if you're coaching? What do coaches think of this? And what do coaches think of the current state of the game? Well, I'm getting ready to